Chapter 198. Weird. Let's back off a bit first. Carrying the battle boar, the axeman took dozens of steps back and jumped onto a high ground. He then hid behind a huge rock, staring at the pile of rocks without blinking. Boom! The blue light exploded. Hundreds of rocks were blown away like they were caught in a terrifying storm, shooting out in all directions. Danger! The axeman's face was pale. He dropped the battle boar and lied on the ground. The high ground looked like it had been hit by an earthquake, shaking violently. Looking from the cave, one could see that the high ground was full of holes, not much better than a hornet's nest. The only reason it was still standing was because of the huge amount of iron minerals that no one had discovered before. After a long time, the axeman crawled up from the ground. Looking at the high ground that was full of cracks, he could not help but be shocked. He subconsciously looked at the pile of rock. The pile of rocks had disappeared, and what appeared in his sight was a pitch-black cave. The air outside the cave was like a wave. Pap, 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 pap. Footsteps were heard, and a human figure walked out slowly. Finally reached the 10th level of the mysterious great art. The Zhenqi quality is indeed different. The human figure was indeed Yi Chen. He had been training in the cave, and had finally reached the 10th level of the mysterious great art. The 10th level of the mysterious Zhenqi was extremely powerful, much more powerful than the 9th level. Yi Chen started to wonder if the mysterious great art was really a mid-rank Earth Realm martial art. Why was it so much more powerful than normal mid-rank Earth Realm martial arts? Even the best ones should not have this kind of Zhenqi quality. Waving his hand, the pile of rocks on the ground were all shattered into dust. Yi Chen looked at the axeman. Did I hurt you just now? There was actually someone training in there. This person must be very powerful. The axeman stuttered. No. I am sorry for disturbing your training. I will leave now, please don't kill me. Even though Woodcutter hadn't gone out to wander before, he had heard from some passing practitioners that high-level practitioners were most afraid of people disturbing their cultivation. Once they were provoked, they would kill at the slightest provocation without mercy. The other party had a friendly expression, so it couldn't be a sign that he was about to kill someone, right? Yi Chen smiled. If it was a few days ago, I might have been very angry. Now, it doesn't count as disturbing me. Yi Chen wasn't joking. A few days ago was his opportunity to break through. If he was interrupted, he wouldn't kill anyone, but he would definitely be angry. As for the consequences of being angry, he didn't know. Oh, that's good. The woodcutter patted his chest and broke out in cold sweat. By the way, are you a woodcutter nearby? The woodcutter nodded. My house is in Huayang village, which is more than 20 miles away. It's not far from here. Usually, when I have nothing to do, I come here to hunt and share the meat with the villagers. Give it to the villagers. Yi Chen smiled. He could tell that the axeman was at the peak of Mortal Realm Stage 8. If he was outside, he would only be a commoner, but in a remote village, he would be considered as a powerful warrior. Not everyone had the opportunity to practice martial arts. I'm about to go down the mountain, let's go together. In a flash, Yi Chen appeared on the mountain path. Alright, wait for me. Carrying the red-eye battle boar, the woodcutter ran as fast as he could, following closely behind Yi Chen. To be able to talk to a powerful warrior, even if it was just walking with him, was already a rare thing. If the villagers knew about this, they would definitely worship him even more. After all, the most powerful warrior the villagers had ever seen was only a mid-condensing reality realm warrior. Judging from his chi, he was not even 1/10 as powerful as Yi Chen. The mountain was not very high, and the two soon reached the foot of the mountain. Yi Chen was about to leave, but he suddenly frowned. What's wrong? The woodcutter was a bit worried. He knew that Yi Chen was about to leave. Yi Chen said seriously, a very strong demonic chi covering the sky and the ground. It doesn't look like a single beast, but more like a lot of beasts gathered together. A lot of beasts? The woodcutter froze for a second, then said in shock, "Isn't that a beast wave? Is there really going to be a beast wave this winter?" Yi Chen looked at him. "Do you know what's going on?" The woodcutter shook his head, then nodded. 2 months ago, a warrior who was passing by told me that there would be a lot of beasts this winter. He told me to go to the city as soon as possible, or else I would lose my life. At that time, I thought he was joking. There hasn't been a beast wave in the past 300 years. How could it happen now? He was right, the beast wave is really coming. Yi Chen looked up at the sky. The clear sky had started to darken, and there was a gray chi flow hovering above, forming huge dark clouds, covering the sky and moving towards them at an extremely fast speed. That horrifying aura even shocked Yi Chen. "Not good, there are only normal people in the village, I have to go inform them now." "You are too slow, let me give you a ride." Grabbing the woodcutter's shoulder with his right hand, Yi Chen extended his body and flew out like a huge bird. He said, "Point me in the right direction." "Thank you, this way." The woodcutter was very grateful. Yi Chen was obviously a top-rank warrior, but he did not have any arrogance at all, which was completely different from what he remembered of top-rank warriors. Yi Chen did not think too much about it. After coming to this world, he had already learned about the rule of power. But he still had the mark of that world in his bones. If he ran into someone who needed help, and he had the power, he would not reject it. Otherwise, what would be the point of being a powerful warrior? Yi Chen's speed was extremely fast, and within dozens of blinks, he had already traveled dozens of miles. Yeah, there are a lot of beasts in the sky. The beast wave was something that happened quite often in this true spirit continent. As for why it would happen, no one knew for sure. All they knew was that at a certain time, the beasts in a certain place would go crazy and start to attack the places where humans live. The beasts that were closest to the place would undoubtedly arrive the fastest, especially the flying beasts. They were the ones that killed the most people in the early stages. "They are coming." The woodcutter raised his head to take a look. Not far away, the sky was covered in darkness. Among them were Class 3 demonic beasts, red smelting bird, blood crow, flamingo, Class 4 demonic beasts, twin-headed bird, four-clawed eagle, flying lizard, Class 5 demonic beasts, ghost-head eagle, winged wolf. There were too many of them. Any one of the flying demonic beasts could tear him into pieces. Tornado broken clouds. The star-scar sword appeared in his hand as Yi Chen threw out a sword attack towards the place with the most flying beasts. The next second, the tornado mixed with Zhen Qi swept over with a whistling sound, and the sword Qi shot out. It didn't matter if it was the 3rd-grade flying demon beasts, the 4th-grade flying demon beasts, or the 5th-grade flying demon beasts, all of them fell from the sky one after another. It was as if a black rainstorm had fallen. He killed dozens of flying beasts with one sword attack. The woodcutter's eyes were wide open. He thought that Yi Chen was only at early clasping Yuan realm, and would be able to compete with normal rank 5 beasts. But now, it seemed like even rank 6 beasts would not be able to compete with him. Plus, he looked so young, about the same age as his nephew. Actually, he had guessed it right. Yi Chen's cultivation had not improved that much. But with the entry-level sword intent, plus the 10th level of the Great Mysterious Art, Yi Chen's attacking power was already almost the same as the older late-clasping Yuan Realm warriors. Right now, if Mr. Jin or Yuan Zhongbo were to fight against him alone, he would have 70% chance to wound them badly and 20% chance to kill them completely. Roar! A huge beast with wings on its back and eagle claws dove towards the two. Its speed soon surpassed the speed of sound, which was even faster than Yi Chen. Not good. It is a rank 6 beast, the eagle tiger beast. In the city, one could buy a beginner beast book with 100 gold, which included all the beasts from rank 1 to 6. The eagle tiger beast was one of them, and its power could be ranked in the top 100. The woodcutter had bought one before and kept it in his house. Yi Chen did not care too much about it. Compared to the wind wolf, This eagle-tiger beast was way too weak. Judging from its chi, it was just like a normal late clasping Yuan realm warrior. Shocking cloud. With a sword attack, a thunderous sound was heard. Swoosh. The eagle-tiger beast came fast, but it died fast as well. Its head had been cut in half by the sword chi. It was killed just like that. The woodcutter's mouth was wide open. Soon, the two arrived at the village. The beast wave is coming. Everyone, go to the city. After landing on the ground, the woodcutter yelled out with all of his strength. What? The beast wave is coming? How is this possible? We haven't had a beast wave for 300 years. Brother Gao, are you kidding me? Yeah, although you are the #1 warrior in our village, you can't scare us like that. Hearing them, most of the energetic young men did not believe it. With one sword attack, Yi Chen cracked the small hill outside of the village, and said with a cold voice, "If you don't want to die, go to the city. You won't be able to leave even if you want to." A high-level warrior? The villagers who ran out of their houses were shocked. The village head was an old man with white hair. He yelled, "A high-level warrior would not lie to us. Everyone, go to the city now. Don't bring anything with you, just bring some food and valuables." The villagers screamed and ran back to their houses to pack their belongings. All of a sudden, the sound of shouting, crying, and rummaging made the atmosphere even heavier. Standing on top of the village wall, Yi Chen frowned. In the distance, a black mass of flying beasts was approaching. There were a lot of them, and with his power alone, he would not be able to protect all of them. Plus, these were only some of the beasts in the early stages of the beast wave. The longer it dragged on, the more beasts there would be. By then, the number would not be calculated by thousands, but by tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions. A village and a town would not be able to handle it. Only a huge city could hold on for a while. As for how long it could last, it would depend on whether it was a small beast wave or a medium one. Normally, there would not be rank 7 beasts appearing in a small beast wave, while a medium beast wave would send out rank 7 beasts one by one. Only astral-reaching realm warriors would be able to handle it. As for the large beast wave, Yi Chen did not even dare to think about it, because once it happened, even the royal city might not be able to handle it. Then, it would be a real disaster for humanity. Shoo! 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 Shoving 3 Zhen-Qi replenishing pellets into his mouth, Yi Chen held his star-scar sword with both of his hands, performing his tornado-broken clouds a couple of times. Countless tornadoes were created, attacking towards the flying beasts in the distance. Swoosh! The flying beasts fell down one after another, clearing up the sky. Most of the beasts that had gathered here were from the mountains or the forests nearby, so there were not many of them. Under the lead of the village head, the villagers who had packed up their belongings started to head east. Hundreds of miles away, there was a small city called the Iron City. Chapter 199. Young warrior, all the villagers are heading towards the Iron City. I think it will take them 2 or 3 days to get there. The axeman walked over to inform Yi Chen. Yi Chen jumped down from the wall and asked, "What are the villages within 10 miles of Huaiyang Village?" And Liyang Village, Big Mountain Village, Lu Family Village, Big River Village, Willow Village, and Yellow Mountain Town. The axeman said. Yi Chen said, "The beasts are very fast. I am afraid they will catch up before we reach the Iron City. You tell the villagers to go to the Yellow Mountain Town first. The more people there are, the safer it will be." In the early stage, the beasts would not be very powerful. Occasionally, there would be rank 5 or 6 beasts that Yi Chen could handle by himself. But most of the villagers were normal people. Even a rank 1 or 2 beast would be able to tear them into pieces. They would need a large group of warriors to protect them. As a town, the Yellow Mountain Town would not lack condensing reality realm warriors. If they were lucky, they might even be able to find a few clasping Yuan realm warriors. Young warrior, you are right. The axeman was not stupid. He knew that Yi Chen's power was limited, and it would be impossible for him to protect the hundreds of people in the village. In front of thousands of beasts, any random attack would be able to kill all the people in the village. Alright, let's go. After performing 4 tornado-broken clouds in a row, the horrifying tornado had killed almost all of the flying beasts in the sky. Yi Chen grabbed the axeman and flew towards the direction where the villagers were heading. After an hour, they met the villagers of Liyang village. After 6 hours, the villagers of the big mountain village had gathered. The number of people had grown from 300 to more than 1,000. This group of people was heading towards the Yellow Mountain town, which was 10 miles away. Xiao Gao, who is this young man? He killed so many beasts by himself? The chief of Liyang village asked the axeman. The axeman scratched his head and said proudly, "He is a high-level warrior. As for his name, I didn't ask. Anyway, he's a powerful high-level martial artist. Yeah. If it weren't for him, I'm afraid we wouldn't have been able to survive." The big mountain village chief stared at the corpses of the demonic beasts in the distance and was shocked. This was already the 3rd wave of beasts that Yi Chen had killed. Each wave had hundreds of beasts, and the most dangerous one was from the front of the group. Obviously, they were beasts that lived near the Yellow Mountain town. Yi Chen was able to fight against an experienced late-clasping Yuan realm warrior, and he also had a couple of wide-range attacks from his Sky Cloud sword art. Added with the Zhen Qi replenishing pellets, he was barely able to protect the group from harm. Even so, over 100 people had died during the 30-kilometer journey. There are more demonic beasts coming from that direction. There are so many of them, at least 1,000. Along the way, some warriors who were passing by volunteered to protect the group. Most of them were mid-condensing reality realm warriors, and there was only one late condensing reality realm warrior. The one who spoke was a man in his 30s, holding a huge machete in his hand, which was dripping with blood. Yi Chen said, "I will try my best to kill them, you guys protect the group." "Alright, you be careful." The man knew that Yi Chen was very powerful, and the beasts in the early stage would not be able to hurt him. Shoo! With a shake of his body, Yi Chen split into 3 Zhen Qi shadows and rushed towards the beast wave side by side. Kill! Yi Chen's real body created a tornado with his sword and attacked the beast wave, while the 3 Zhen Qi shadows blocked the other beasts with their bare hands. After killing hundreds of beasts, Yi Chen could not hold on anymore. He yelled at the group, "Everyone, get ready to fight! Don't worry, we are not here for nothing." Dozens of condensing reality realm warriors stood in front of the thousands of people. Although there were only a few of them, their aura was not weak at all. Some of the villagers who had reached Mortal Realm Stage 5 and above also walked out. They might not be able to deal with beasts above Rank 2, but they could still kill Rank 1 and Rank 2 beasts. Roar! All of the beasts in the sky had been killed by Yi Chen, and all that was left were the low-rank beasts that could not fly. These beasts rushed towards the group of people, their roars coming one after another. A lot of the children were so scared that they started to cry. The women were shivering, holding their children tightly. Kill! 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 Under the lead of dozens of condensing reality realm warriors, including the axemen, all of the villagers who were powerful rushed up, their eyes bloodshot. Boom! 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 In the first attack, an early condensing reality realm warrior had his chest pierced by a wild boar beast's tusk. He vomited blood and died. Soon after, another 10 villagers were trampled to death by the beast. The axeman was quite lucky. The beast that was fighting with him was a rank 2 demonic beast, Mist Cow. It was not very powerful, but it was extremely huge. Therefore, the axeman did not have to worry about being trampled by other demonic beasts. Shoo! Appearing in the middle of the beast wave, Yi Chen held his Star Scar sword with both of his hands, waving it in 4 different directions. Swoosh! 4 dozens of meters long sword chi sliced open the ground. Wherever it went, all of the beasts were cut in half, their blood spilling everywhere. Tyrant Millennium! Just as the sword chi passed through, Yi Chen threw a punch onto the ground. Rumble! The ground collapsed, and a huge pit with a radius of 10 meters appeared. The beasts in the front could not control their bodies and fell into the pit. The beasts behind them were too fast, so they could not stop their bodies in time. All of a sudden, at least dozens of beasts were buried in the pit. Not caring about killing the beasts that fell into the pit one by one, Yi Chen rushed towards the group of people. Some of the beasts were rushing towards them. "Mom, I am so scared." Seeing a huge rat beast rushing towards them, the kid curled up in the woman's arms. "Don't be scared. Mom is here." The woman's face was pale, but she tried to comfort the kid in her arms. The huge rat beast was a rank 3 beast. Before this, dozens of villagers had already had their heads bitten off by it, dying horribly. Now that it was rushing towards them, no one could stop it. Right at that moment, a fist landed on the head of the huge rat beast. The powerful fist power blew it away, its body shattering into pieces. "Tell the others to stay together." Standing in front of the two, Yi Chen's sword was dripping with blood. "Thank you so much." Many of the villagers in this area had died, and the population was sparse. The woman hurried to run towards the crowd with her kid, wiping her tears from time to time. Her man had just died right in front of her eyes. Killing without tiredness. On this day, Yi Chen had killed 2,000 to 3,000 beasts, which was more than all the times he had killed before. The killing intent on his body had made some of the low-rank beasts afraid to face him. Their movements were stiff, and even rank 3 and 4 beasts were shivering in fear. Only 15 minutes later, the battle was over. Thousands of beasts had died, and more than 200 humans had died. It was still because of Yi Chen's fast killing speed. Otherwise, no one would have been able to leave this place alive. "Let's go. Hurry up. We need to reach the Yellow Mountain town before nightfall." Among the group, Yi Chen was undoubtedly the leader. With one order, everyone left the dead bodies of their family members behind and started to run. That late condensing reality realm warrior sighed, "The beast wave is too horrifying. So many people have died in such a short time." Putting his star scar sword back into its scabbard, Yi Chen said with a heavy tone, "Let's not talk about it for now. When the real beast wave breaks out, the number of deaths would be in the tens of thousands. All we can do is try our best to protect the villagers and get into the city. Then, we can rely on the city to fight against the beast. Yeah, with the protection of the city, it will be much safer." The sun was setting, and the roars of the beasts could be heard everywhere. From afar, everyone could see the Yellow Mountain town standing on the ground. "We have arrived at the Yellow Mountain town. Let's work harder." The man stood next to Yi Chen and said with a tired voice. Yi Chen glanced at the man and the few condensing reality realm warriors who had survived. He was very impressed. Most of the passing warriors thought that the villagers were too slow, so they did not want to stay and protect them. Only these people were willing to help them. But after a few battles, half of them had been devoured by the beasts, and the rest of them were all wounded, some even disabled. Yi Chen could not help but ask, "Why did you choose to stay and protect them? If you ran by yourself, you could have made it to the town or the city first." The man asked back, "Then why did you stay? I remember that when we came here, you were the only one protecting the villagers. I am a clasping Yuan realm warrior. Why wouldn't I help if I could? Hee. Although I am not as powerful as you, I have the same idea as you. I believe they are thinking the same." The man took out a piece of cloth from his pocket and wiped his blade. Soon, they arrived at the Yellow Mountain town. "Great. Another clasping Yuan realm warrior." When the gate of the town opened, a 21 or 22-year-old young man walked up to Yi Chen. Yi Chen looked at the broken tall wall and said, "This place has been attacked by the beasts as well?" The young man nodded. "From this afternoon until now, we have been attacked by 5 demon beasts in total. The largest one had 5,000 to 6,000 demon beasts, covering the entire mountain. Many people have already rushed towards the Iron City. I am staying to protect those who have not left. I am Yi Chen, and you are? Tian Hao. The Yellow Mountain town will not be able to hold on for long. But it is already late, we have to stay here for another night. Let's fight together. Being able to see a clasping Yuan realm warrior, Yi Chen was very happy as well. During the beast wave, only condensing reality realm warriors and above would be able to kill the beasts in a large area. One more person would mean one more layer of protection. Tian Hao laughed and said, I am not the only clasping Yuan realm warrior in the Yellow Mountain town. The other clasping Yuan realm warriors are guarding the other 3 town gate. Including you, there are 7 of them in total, and 3 of them are mid-clasping Yuan realm warriors. I think it should not be a problem to guard for one night, since it has only been half a day, the real beast wave has not started yet. Yeah, 7 people should be enough. Yi Chen let out a breath in relief. Having 7 clasping Yuan realm warriors in one town was definitely a blessing in disguise. The town was not that big, but because a lot of people had left before, the 3 villages did not feel crowded at all. Of course, there were also people from other villages nearby who had arrived. However, they were not as lucky as the Huaiyang village and the Liyang village. Because there were no clasping Yuan realm warriors to protect them, they had lost a lot of people. Less than 100 people had made it to the Yellow Mountain town. Inside all the restaurants, everyone eat as much as you can. The owner of the restaurant has already escaped to the Iron City. All the food is free. In all the weapon shops, everyone has a weapon. Don't take more, but don't take less. Tonight we will be relying on them to kill the beasts. Facing the beast wave, everyone had to work together. This was something that would never happen in a peaceful time. On the street, looking at the crowd and warriors coming and going, Tian Hao said, I will take you to meet the other clasping Yuan realm warriors. Tonight we will be partners. Yi Chen nodded. It was a pleasant meeting. Everyone was very confident about the addition of a clasping Yuan realm warrior. They knew very well that a clasping Yuan realm warrior could fight against dozens of condensing reality realm warriors. No matter in terms of attacking power or attacking range, it would not be on the same level. The night had shrouded the land. The atmosphere in the Yellow Mountain town had become very serious, including that of Yi Chen and the others. Roar, roar, roar. A beast roar was heard. It was not far from the Yellow Mountain town. No one knew how long it had been, but the rumbling sound could be heard everywhere. With the help of the moonlight, people with weapons could see a huge group of beasts in the distance. The ones running at the front were rank 1 and 2 beasts, followed by rank 3 and rank 4 beasts, and at the back were rank 5 and a few rank 6 beasts. These beasts were not rushing to attack the Yellow Mountain town. Instead, they were moving forward step by step. In front of the crowd, Tian Hao said with relief, there is only one rank 6 beast here. Judging from the beast chi vibration, it should be equivalent to a peak-level mid-clasping Yuan realm warrior. You and I will work together and kill it first. Yi Chen said, no need to be so troublesome. You help the others. I will handle the rank 5 beasts and rank 6 beasts. You alone? Tian Hao looked confused. Yi Chen did not answer with words. He waved his hand and the star sword appeared in his hand. He took it out of the scabbard and threw a sword attack in front of him. Swoosh! The flat ground cracked open. The beasts at the front all fell down. The sword chi wave exploded in the group of beasts, killing another 7 rank 3 and 4 beasts. Such a powerful sword chi. Tian Hao was shocked. Just like Yi Chen, he was also a peak-level early clasping Yuan realm warrior. Although he did not make it into the top 72 in the last Hidden Dragon rank competitions, he thought that he would definitely be able to make it this time. He thought that Yi Chen would not be as powerful as him, but he did not expect that Yi Chen would be even more powerful than him. Roar! Seeing Yi Chen's arrogance, the rank 6 demonic beast roared in anger. As its demonic chi swept out, it quickly appeared in front of the group of demonic beasts. It opened its mouth and breathed out a huge fire wave, which rushed towards Yi Chen. Cut! From hundreds of meters away, Yi Chen threw out a sword attack. The blue sword chi sliced through the air like a shooting star. It not only cut open the flame wave, but also landed on the rank 6 beast's body. Soon, this rank 6 beast's body was cut in half before it could even show its power. A huge amount of blood splashed onto the ground. Impressive. I thought it would be a tough fight, but it seems like I don't have to. Tian Hao was shocked at first, then he was overjoyed. With Yi Chen's help, rank 6 beasts were no longer a threat to him. He only needed to kill beasts that were below rank 5. Before the beast group even got close, all the clasping Yuan realm warriors had already started their attack. The rest of the warriors were ready to fight against the beasts at any second. Swirling winds and clouds, overlapping mountain ridges. Yi Chen had performed all of his wide-range sword attacks. Sword chi shot out in all directions, and huge groups of beasts fell onto the ground. Night battle. Tian Hao's power was not to be underestimated either. A pitch-black long blade appeared in his hand. As he waved the long blade, dozens of blade chi spread out with him as the center. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. With only the power of the two of them, most of the beasts could not even get close. Once they got within 300 meters, they would be killed by countless sword chi and blade chi. Even the rank 3 and 4 beasts could not survive. Only the rank 5 beasts could break through the sword chi and blade chi and escape. What welcomed them was a fist. The powerful fist had attracted hundreds of meters of yuan chi, and then it was thrown out. Boom, boom, boom. 3 to 4 rank 5 beasts exploded in the air. So powerful, we could not do anything. At least hundreds of beasts had died in their hands. The beasts behind them had just arrived, but they were all killed immediately. Even the rank 5 beasts were no exception. It is dangerous over there. Why don't we go and help them? All of the warriors in the back started to discuss. Yi Chen heard everyone's discussion and said loudly, "You guys send half of your people to other places. We will be enough here." Tian Hao said, "Brother Yi is right." Hearing him, half of the 100 people left, and only about 50 people were left. There were not many beasts in the first wave. There were only 2,000 to 3,000 beasts on Yi Chen and Tian Hao's side. After such a short while, half of them had already been killed by the two of them. Another rank 6 beast is coming. Is it an eagle-tiger beast? Tian Hao was shocked. Pep. Just as Tian Hao finished talking, that eagle-tiger beast had been cut into pieces by an extremely fast sword chi. It was as horrifying as thunder. Tian Hao was speechless. This was way too horrifying. A rank 6 beast could not even take one sword chi attack from him. This eagle-tiger beast was equivalent to a normal late clasping Yuan realm warrior. Putting a pellet into his mouth, Yi Chen looked very calm. This eagle-tiger beast was different from normal rank 6 beasts. If he wanted to kill it with one sword attack, he would have to use his ultimate move, the last movement of the Sky Cloud sword art, Supreme Sky Cloud. As for the one sword attack, he would try not to use it unless necessary, as it would consume a lot of his energy. As the battle went on, Tian Hao's Jinqi was being consumed very quickly. However, he had quite a lot of pellets with him, some of which could instantly replenish 20 to 30% of his Jinqi. He said, "Brother Yi, if you don't have enough pellets, I have some here. I am from the alchemist martial school, and I have a lot of them." Yi Chen said, "No need, I have a lot of pellets as well." Besides the calabash of Jinqi replenishing pellets, he also had hundreds of normal Jinqi replenishing pellets, which he had spent hundreds of thousands of gold to buy. After all, normal Jinqi replenishing pellets were more than enough for normal use. There was no need to waste Jinqi replenishing pellet. When all the beasts in this direction had been killed, the battles in the other directions had not finished yet. Yi Chen said, "I will go help the others first. Are you okay by yourself?" "Sure, you go ahead. I don't think it's safe over there. Rank 6 beasts are still quite powerful for us. Tian Hao sat on the ground with his legs crossed and started meditating. Hearing Yi Chen, he nodded. Swoosh. Extending his body, Yi Chen soon arrived at the south gate of the Yellow Mountain town. Without saying anything, Yi Chen threw out a sword attack and hit the rank 6 beast that was fighting with the clasping Yuan realm warrior. This rank 6 beast let out a cry and fell on the ground. Chapter 200. The one guarding the south gate was a mid-clasping Yuan realm warrior. Before Yi Chen arrived, he was the most powerful warrior in the Yellow Mountain town. However, his opponent was a rank 6 beast, the four-legged flamingo, which was as powerful as a late-clasping Yuan realm warrior. Even after using all of his ace attacks, he still could not do anything to it. Instead, his arm had been scratched. Seeing Yi Chen kill the four-legged flamingo with only one sword attack, he opened his eyes wide in shock. I will leave the rest of the beasts to you. I will go check out the other two sides. Flashing his body, Yi Chen flew across the sky of the Yellow Mountain town and arrived at the east gate. The situation here was not good. There were 2 rank 6 beasts, and there were only 2 clasping Yuan realm warriors. One was a mid-clasping Yuan realm warrior, and the other was an early clasping Yuan realm warrior. The early clasping Yuan realm warrior was about to be killed by the claw of the rank 6 beast. Performing his separating shadow flying art, Yi Chen's body became blurry. When he reappeared, he was already in between the beast and the human, throwing out a thunderous sword attack. Pap! The lightning-like blue sword light broke through the beast's protective beast chi and landed heavily on its chest. Then, the sword light shone brightly, exploding violently. Blood splashed everywhere. This aggressive rank 6 beast had been blown away by the sword light. There was a huge sword hole in its chest, which was quite chilling. You go and heal yourself first, Yi Chen said to the middle-aged man, who was quite badly wounded. All right, thank you. The middle-aged man was just as shocked as the first one. However, it was obviously not the time for him to be shocked. He obediently stepped back, swallowed a pellet, and sat on the ground with his legs crossed to heal himself. He was trying to recover most of his fighting power before the next wave of beasts appeared. Oh, little bro, you are quite powerful. The one who was fighting with the rank 6 beast was a beautiful lady in her 30s. She was holding a crescent blade in her hand, and seemed to be on par with the beast. From time to time, she would use her ace attacks to leave bloody marks on the beast's body. Yi Chen said, the next wave of beasts could come at any time. You don't mind if I help you, right? Clasping Yuan realm warriors were very confident in their own power. If they went up there recklessly, they might annoy the lady, since she had already suppressed the rank 6 beast. Sure. I couldn't ask for more. The beautiful woman smiled sweetly and didn't mind. Bang! The ground exploded as Yi Chen violently dashed towards the beautiful woman's opponent, the level 6 two-headed wolf king. Howl! One of the two-headed wolf king's heads spat out a ring of light at Yi Chen. The power of the light wave was unparalleled. Wherever it went, the ground would explode layer by layer, and the sky would be filled with rubble. Break! On the way, Yi Chen slashed horizontally with his sword. The light wave split in the middle, and the thick blue sword chi instantly hit the double-headed wolf king's body, protecting demonic chi. This two-headed wolf king is not simple. The blue sword chi had been blocked by the protective beast chi, and could not break through. At this moment, Yi Chen finally realized how powerful that beautiful lady was. She seemed to be even more powerful than those mid-clasping Yuan realm warriors outside the south gate. Before, she had suppressed the double-headed wolf king all by herself. The beautiful lady reminded Yi Chen, this is not a normal double-headed wolf king, it is a mutated one. Its beast chi is very dense, and even my arc light blade could not break through its protective beast chi. You will have to use your ace attack. It's broken. In the beautiful lady's eyes, the blue sword chi did not disappear just like that. Instead, it turned into layers of sword qi that continuously landed on the double-headed Wolf King's protective Jin qi. Within 2 blinks of an eye, one of the double-headed Wolf King's heads had been cut off by the sword qi. Blood spurted out for dozens of meters. Arc light cut. As soon as the double-headed Wolf King's protective Jin qi was broken, the beautiful lady reacted quickly and threw out 3 blade attacks in a row, killing the double-headed Wolf King for good. Interesting. Are you interested in joining our Moon Pavilion? Don't worry, we are not a martial institution, we are just an organization. You don't have to leave your martial institution if you join us. The beautiful lady would not be stupid enough to ask Yi Chen to leave his martial institution. With his age, Yi Chen must be the most talented one in the martial institution. Yi Chen said, "Not yet. You will be interested in it in the future." The beautiful lady laughed. The expression on her face was obviously one of excitement. After that, Yi Chen went to the north gate of the Yellow Mountain town to help. In fact, he did not need to go there, since there was not even a single rank 6 beast there. After the first wave of beasts had been killed, no one dared to sleep. They sat outside the town to rest and chat, drinking wine. As for cleaning up the dead bodies, they could not do it even if they wanted to. Under the beast wave, there would be no whole bodies left. All they could see was the ground covered with minced meat and blood. In the middle of the night, the second wave of beasts had arrived. The attack this time was even more intense than the previous wave. There were dozens of rank 6 beasts, and there were 3 to 4 of them in almost every direction. There were hundreds of rank 5 beasts, and the number of low-rank beasts was even more horrifying. There were tens of thousands of them, and they were everywhere. After 2 hours, the second wave of beasts had finally been killed. The number of warriors in the Yellow Mountain town had been reduced from the original 700 to 300. More than half of them had died under the claws of the beast. The normal people in the town were not spared either. Half of the thousands of people had died, and the survivors were either hiding in the cellars or being saved by Yi Chen and the others. Besides that, there were finally some clasping Yuan realm warriors who had been killed. An early clasping Yuan realm warrior had been killed, and 3 others had been wounded. One of them had lost an arm. One more wave, and we will not be able to hold on anymore. Tian Hao was covered in blood as he said sadly. Yi Chen's clothes were torn, but he was not wounded. He said, "The sun is coming out soon. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get everyone to the Iron City. That's the only way." After a quarter of an hour, more than 1,000 people left the broken Yellow Mountain town, walking towards the sun in the east. All of their faces were pale. Obviously, the beast attack last night had made them very tired and desperate. The good thing was that there was still hope in their eyes. Behind the crowd, Tian Hao had changed into a clean set of clothes and said with a bitter smile, "I have killed more beasts tonight than I have in the past few years. How could there be so many beasts?" The beautiful lady said, "The beasts are very territorial, but there are at least hundreds of thousands of beasts in 1,000 miles radius mountain range. We had only been attacked in a small area. You are right. We can only hope that there will not be any rank 7 beasts in the beast wave." Yi Chen looked very serious. If it were top rank 6 beasts like the Wind Wolf, they would still be able to fight them with the number of people. But once there were rank 7 beasts, the human wave attack would basically be useless. Relying on the city would be useless as well. Only astral-reaching realm warriors of the same level would be able to make it. Tian Hao looked into the distance. There are still 200 miles to the Iron City. We have to speed up. At the same time, in different directions, countless people were gathering towards the area where the Iron City was located. Iron City, inside the mayor's mansion. "Mayor, right now the Iron City is already overcrowded. In the next few days there will be even more people gathering here. This will be a huge burden." An elder in luxurious clothes reported to the middle-aged man on the main seat. The middle-aged mayor said, "Normal people stay on the ground, and let all the warriors go up to the roof. That way there will be more space. Right now, it is not about the number of people, but what if there are not enough people? We should all gather in the Iron City. The elder said with admiration, Mayor, you are so wise. I asked you to find out how many clasping Yuan realm warriors there are in the Iron City. Have you found anything yet? The mayor asked. I have. Although the Iron City is a small city, there are more than 240 clasping Yuan realm warriors, and it is still increasing. Among them, there are many clasping Yuan realm warriors from the big martial institutions. Yeah, the beast wave is indeed dangerous, but it can train the warriors' battling experience. The leaders of the big martial institutions should have plans for this. Oh right, are there any astral-reaching realm warriors coming? Not yet. The mayor frowned and mumbled to himself, this is not easy. Right now we are not sure if it will be a small beast wave or a mid-sized one. If there are rank 7 beasts, the Iron City would not be able to hold on. I hope it will not happen. I don't think it will be possible. Normally, rank 7 beasts would only be found in mid-sized mountains or forests. Within 10,000 miles of our Iron City, there are no mid-sized mountains or forests. The biggest mountain in the wasteland is only a small one, only a few thousand miles in radius. I hope so. After one day and one night of traveling, everyone was exhausted. A lot of normal people who were already injured had died on the way, and even more had died under the attacks of the beasts. The number of people has decreased again. I wonder how many will make it to the Iron City. Looking at the crowd, Yi Chen sighed. Right now, there were less than 1,000 people left, which was almost the same as the population of 3 villages. He then looked at the axeman who was not far away and smiled. He thought that he was quite lucky. He did not die in such a harsh battle, and even managed to break through from the peak of Mortal Realm Stage 8 to Stage 9. After this beast wave, there was hope for him to reach the condensing reality realm. Tian Hao looked at Yi Chen with admiration. You have killed 5,000 to 6,000 beasts by yourself, and I have only killed less than 1/3 of you. Every time the beasts attacked, Yi Chen would fight his way into the group of beasts by himself and kill the rank 6 beasts that were threatening. And every time, he would be able to escape unscathed, which made Tian Hao and the rest admire him. In their minds, there were people who were as powerful as Yi Chen, or even more powerful than him, but none of them could do it as easily as he did. Young man, if you join our moon pavilion, we will guarantee you more resources to increase your cultivation. The beautiful lady did not forget to recruit Yi Chen at all. Yi Chen smiled bitterly. I'm not interested for now. Then think about it. You won't lose anything anyway. If you think the moon pavilion is not good, you can leave anytime. The beautiful lady was very confident in the moon pavilion. She believed that after Yi Chen joined, he would not want to leave. The problem was that he had not joined yet. Another half a day passed. A city with a circumference of 10 miles appeared in their sight. We've arrived at the Iron City. We've finally arrived. Let's go in quickly. We'll be safe inside. The people who survived cherished their lives very much. All of them ran as if they had been injected with chicken blood, unlike before when they were on the verge of death. The beautiful lady flew into the air and shouted, "Open the city gate." Before the beautiful lady shouted a second time, the huge city gate opened. Groups of soldiers lined up on both sides. The leader said, "Everyone, come in. Don't waste any time." After entering the Iron City, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Some of them had reached their limit and fainted. So many people. Looking at the overcrowded Iron City, Yi Chen was shocked. Tian Hao said, "It seems like everyone has gathered here. Next, we will have to fight against the beasts. I hope we can hold on. If there are no rank 7 beasts, it should not be a problem." An unknown clasping Yuan realm warrior nearby said. Roar. The second Yi Chen and the group entered the city. Countless beasts were running in the direction of the Yellow Mountain town. It was dark and horrifying. Within the beast wave, there were countless rank 5 beasts and hundreds of rank 6 beasts. What was even more horrifying was that behind the beasts, there was a huge shadow moving towards them. Wherever it went, the hills would collapse and the ground would start to rumble, as if there was a small earthquake. It was 1,000 meters long python with 2 long horns on its head. Its whole body was covered in greenish-yellow scales that were the size of basins. With a casual sweep of its tail, the ground would crack open, and rocks would fly everywhere. From its mouth, a stinky smell would come out, forming countless dark cloud-like air currents that covered its entire body. Boom! The 2-horned python flew past the Yellow Mountain town. The whole town had been completely destroyed and turned into a flat ground within a second. It was impossible to tell that this town used to exist. Roar! 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 The beast's roar was earth-shattering as it jumped towards the Iron City. What? There are rank 7 beasts here? A late clasping Yuan realm warrior saw the 2-horned python from afar and was shocked. He hurried to perform his flying art and fly towards the Iron City. Swoosh! The 2-horned python stared at him without blinking. It opened its mouth and an endless amount of beast chi gathered at its throat. Then, a pitch-black light column shot out. 10 miles of distance was covered within a blink of an eye. This late clasping Yuan realm warrior did not even make a sound before his body was burned into ashes. As if it was not satisfied yet, this 2-horned python shot out a few more pitch-black light columns, which pierced through the mountains nearby. Rocks started to fall from the top, and a loud rumbling sound was heard. The beast's speed was extremely fast, even faster than the crowd's traveling speed. Within half a day, they had already reached 10 miles away from the Iron City. The 2-horned python straightened its upper body, which was almost as tall as a mountain. It opened its mouth again and shot out another pitch-black light column, shooting towards the Iron City's city wall that was 10 miles away. The city wall was shattered like tofu. Countless people had died under this black light column, including 3 clasping Yuan realm warriors. Some of the warriors recognized the 2-horned python and said in shock, "It is a rank 7 beast. Rank 7 beast, horned dragon python. How is this possible? How could there be a horned dragon python within 10,000 miles? How could we block the attack of a rank 7 beast? Let's just run." A lot of clasping Yuan realm warriors had pale faces as they started to think about running away. On the other side of the city wall, Yi Chen's heart sank. He had never thought that a rank 7 beast would appear out of nowhere, and this early. Even all of the clasping Yuan realm warriors in the city combined might not be able to kill a rank 7 beast. After all, martial geniuses like Xianhou were not easy to find. Plus, this rank 7 beast's power was still unknown. It might be as powerful as a mid-astral reaching realm warrior. Even a martial genius like Xianhou would not be able to fight against it. I wonder if I can beat a rank 7 beast after I reach the late clasping Yuan realm. According to Thunder Freer, it seems to be very hard. Even with the completed sword intent, I would only be able to run away, and would not be able to fight against it. Yi Chen had never seen a rank 7 beast before, nor had he seen an astral-reaching realm warrior fight against one another. So, he could not tell how powerful a rank 7 beast or an astral-reaching realm warrior would be. Chapter 201. Obviously, the Iron City did not have a horrifying martial genius like Xianhou, and could not fight against the rank 7 horned dragon snake with her late clasping Yuan realm power. When the horned dragon snake shot out the second pitch-black light column, some clasping Yuan realm warriors had finally escaped. For them, it was only a matter of time before the Iron City was destroyed. If they did not leave now, it would be hard for them to leave later, since they only had one life. Boom! Another pitch-black beam of light pierced through the void and landed on the huge city gate of Iron City. In the next moment, the 1-meter-thick city gate made of steel melted into ashes. The pitch-black beam of light didn't stop there. It went straight through the ground, all the way to the city lord's mansion in the center. The mansion was split in half, and everything within 10 meters of that line disappeared instantly. Not a single thing was left. The mayor is dead. Everyone, run. What? The mayor is dead? What is the point of defending? Wait a bit longer. Maybe some astral-reaching realm warriors will come. The beast wave is not only around the Iron City. Other cities are also facing beast waves, and I am afraid there will not be any astral-reaching realm warriors to help. The beast wave had not even reached the city yet, but the people in the Iron City had already lost hope. We can't defend anymore. Let's run. Right next to Yi-Chen, Tian Hao and the rest forced a smile. Yi-Chen nodded. Since it has already happened, staying would be suicide. In the Yellow Mountain town, because there were no rank 7 beasts, they could still try their best to protect more people. But right now, who could they protect if they stayed? In front of rank 7 beasts, clasping Yuan realm warriors would only be ants, unless there were enough of them to kill an elephant. The sky darkened, and a pitch-black light column suddenly shot out towards Yi-Chen's direction. Watch out! Yi-Chen's body flashed, leaving a Zhenqi shadow where he was standing. Tian Hao and the ladies' reactions were just below Yi-Chen's. They pushed their flying art to its limit, moving towards the right side at a high speed. Swoosh! The other clasping Yuan realm warriors did not manage to react in time before they were devoured by the black light column along with the city wall. Tian Hao's face was pale. He had reacted fast enough, but it was not fast enough. At that critical moment, Yi-Chen had pushed him, allowing him to avoid the attack range of the black light column. Looking at the edge of the city wall that had been melted, Tian Hao was still scared. He turned his head and said to Yi-Chen with gratitude, "I owe you a life. I will pay you back someday." Yi-Chen did not say anything. He seemed to have sensed something, so he turned his head and looked towards the sky. Yi-Chen said nothing. Astral-reaching realm warriors are coming. Yi-Chen let out a breath. In the sky, realm, Chen clan king, and the Black clan Yi have city emperor, and Yi clan have realm warriors. King Dragon King with clan, Chen realm dragon. The speed of the flame was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it was still thousands of meters away. In the blink of an eye, the figure in the flame was already clearly visible. It was like a huge fireball shooting over. Seeing that, Tian Hao activated his Zhenqi and said with a loud voice, "Don't despair. The astral-reaching realm warriors from the alchemist martial school are here to help." It is true. There really are astral-reaching realm warriors in the Iron City. The firelight's momentum was so great that not long after, everyone could feel its astonishing aura and scorching temperature. The horned dragon python in the herd also noticed the firelight. Its eyes were cold as it locked onto the location of the firelight. Then, it opened its mouth and spat out a pitch-black pillar of light. "Break!" A voice was heard from within the fire. Right after that, a huge flame-like blade chi sliced through the air, clashing with the black light column. Boom! That horrifying blast wave brought up layers of dirt. A huge pit with a radius of hundreds of meters and a depth of dozens of meters had appeared on the ground. Shoo! The fire disappeared, and a human figure appeared right next to Tian Hao. It was an elder in his 60s, wearing a long robe with fire patterns on his sleeves. Tian Hao said with respect, "Great Master." The elder nodded and said with a serious tone, "Tell everyone to leave the Iron City and head to the Gold Tripod City. That is the only place we can defend." "What? With the Great Master here, we will definitely be able to defend the Iron City." Tian Hao was a bit shocked. He did not expect the elder to say that. The elder sighed, "If it were other rank 7 beasts, I would have the confidence to fight with or even beat them. But this horned dragon snake is extremely powerful, almost equivalent to a mid-astral reaching realm warrior. I can only stall it for a while. Once it drags on, even I will have to run away." "Even Grand Elder couldn't defeat it?" Tian Hao gasped. Yi Chen was speechless. Running away to the gold tripod city with 1,000,000 people was definitely not a good idea. During the beast wave, there would be beasts everywhere outside the city. Not to mention 1,000,000 people, even if there were 10,000,000 people, they would still be slaughtered. But the opponent had made it clear that he could only stall the horned dragon snake for a while, and would not be able to beat it. In other words, they would die either way. The fate of the Iron City's population had already been decided. As the two were talking, the horned dragon snake's second attack had arrived. Shoo! The black light column flashed once before disappearing, and the sky started to darken. Hurry up and get out of here. I can only hold it for 15 minutes. The old man rose from the ground, and a flaming machete appeared in his hand. The machete drew a stunning arc in the void and slashed at the pitch-black pillar of light. The black light column had been shattered once again, and the elder flew towards the beast with the blade in his hand. With Tian Hao's warning, everyone knew about this fact. They had to open the other 3 city gates and get ready to run towards the gold tripod city. Soon, everyone had returned to the Iron City. It turned out that there were beast waves coming from the other 3 directions as well. There were millions of them, and they had completely surrounded the Iron City. Not to mention normal people, even late clasping Yuan realm warriors might not be able to get out. This is bad. On the city wall, all of the clasping Yuan realm warriors looked pale. Before, they were still able to escape with their own power. But now, there were so many beasts everywhere, and some of them were even top rank 6 beasts. There was no way they could escape. If they had known this earlier, they would have escaped earlier. Rumble! The beasts were running extremely fast. Within the time it took to drink half a pot of tea, the Iron City had been completely surrounded. In the sky, under the city wall, every inch of space was filled with all kinds of beasts. The first ones to suffer were the warriors on the city wall. Almost within a second, hundreds of them had been torn into pieces by the flying beasts, including an early clasping Yuan realm warrior. It was a rank 6 beast, the 4-legged flamingo, that had killed him. Tornado broken clouds. Facing all of those flying beasts, Yi Chen chose to attack with a large area of effect. He threw out a sword attack, and the sword chi twisted the air, forming a huge tornado. Shoo! 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 All the beasts below rank 5 would be sucked in once they got close to the tornado. They would be sliced into pieces. Although the rank 5 beasts had a high defense, they still could not keep their bodies steady. They were shakily spinning around the tornado, and were eventually killed by the sword chi. Awo! An earth-shattering wolf howl was heard, which shocked Yi Chen and the rest of them. They could not help but look into the distance. Above the crowd of beasts, a gigantic demonic wolf was flying towards the Iron City. It was indeed one of the tyrants of the rank 6 beasts, the Wind Wolf. Before the rest of them could react, another roar was heard. The ground started to shake violently, and a demonic bear that was even bigger than the Wind Wolf jumped into the air. It was like a dark cloud pressing down on the Iron City. The aggressive chi made all of the flying beasts in the sky scatter, not daring to come closer. Top rank 6 beast, Wind Wolf. Top rank 6 beast, Black Bear. The lady mumbled. Tian Hao took a deep breath and said, "Guys, if we don't run now, we will not have another chance." The Wind Wolf and the Black Bear were both tyrants of the rank 6 beast. With their power, they would not be able to fight against them at all. Plus, as more and more beasts appeared, no one could tell if there would be more top rank 6 beasts. Yi Chen glanced at the Iron City behind him and said helplessly, "Let's run." Shoo! 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 While they were talking, most of the clasping Yuan realm warriors in the Iron City had performed their flying arts, running towards the place where there were fewer beasts. Yi Chen and the other 2 followed closely behind the rest of them. The few clasping Yuan realm warriors in the front were suddenly entangled by a long and thin tongue. The tongue was covered with thorns, and with a slight pull, their bodies were torn apart. "It is a top rank 6 beast, the 3-eyed toad. Run!" Hearing him, everyone, including Yi Chen, increased their speed to their limit. They did not dare to stay for even a second longer. This place was no longer a place where clasping Yuan realm warriors could run freely. Only astral-reaching realm warriors could come and go as they pleased. In the next 10 minutes, 200 clasping Yuan realm warriors were either injured or killed. There were less than 100 left, and most of them had died under the claws of the rank 6 beasts. Some of them had been badly wounded and had fallen into the beast groups, killed by countless low-rank beasts. Supreme shocking cloud. Burning field cut. Arc cut. Yi Chen and the other two were not having a good time either. Although they had carefully avoided the top rank 6 beasts, they were soon surrounded by a group of rank 6 beasts, falling into a crisis. On the other side, the battle between the great master of the alchemist martial school and the horned dragon snake had reached its climax. The horned dragon snake was not only extremely powerful in long-range attacks, but also in close combat. Its 100-meter-long tail swept across the air, blowing away all the air within 1,000 meters radius, turning it into a vacuum world. In this vacuum world, everything seemed to be weightless. The elder yelled, the flame on his body burning fiercely. It was more than 50% stronger than before, and his whole body looked like a human-shaped fire pillar. Boom! A blade attack landed on the horned dragon snake's tail, and the elder was blown away. With that momentum, his body flashed, jumping towards Yi Chen and the other two. Go! He waved his hand to kill all the rank 6 beasts surrounding them, then grabbed Tian Hao and rushed out of the encirclement with a speed that was a couple of times faster than the speed of sound. Yi Chen and the lady looked at each other and forced a smile. They did not have that kind of insane speed, and they did not dare to follow behind the elder, who knew if the horned dragon snake would launch a long-range attack after them. Just as they had expected, a pitch-black light column shot over, shooting towards the elder. Along with a loud boom, the elder and Tian Hao's bodies disappeared. Let's leave as well. If the horned dragon snake catches up with us, we will definitely die. Yeah. Yi Chen and the lady flew side by side, trying their best to avoid the top rank 6 beasts. They did not dare to kill too many of them, as they were afraid that the horned dragon snake would notice them. Chapter 202. There are too many beasts, and we can't make too much noise. Looking at the horde of demonic beasts and the demonic energy that blotted out the sky, the beautiful woman could not help but frown. Yi Chen also felt troubled. The horned dragon snake was not far behind them. Once they made too much noise, it would definitely notice them. By then, no matter how powerful they would not be able to escape death. Then, they could only use their separating shadow flying art. Without much hesitation, Yi Chen reached out his hand and grabbed the lady's slim hand. His body shook a little, and a series of Zhen Qi shadows appeared in the air. His real body had already carried the lady and rushed out. His speed was not that fast, but he was like a fish swimming in the water, avoiding the beast's encirclement. You! The lady subconsciously wanted to take back her hand, but she realized that Yi Chen was performing a special flying art, so she gave up. She used her Zhen Qi to talk to Yi Chen. Although this flying art is special and can create Zhen Qi shadows, it can also attract the attention of the surrounding beasts. You should know that some of the beasts can see through you. Yi Chen said, "How would you know if you don't try?" Shoo! 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 The two silhouettes flickered in and out of existence. A lot of low-ranked beasts were dazzled and bumped into each other. Shoo! Right at this moment, a slender object swept over with a speed as fast as a spark. Watch out! The lady held her breath. She was not unfamiliar with that long and thin object. It was the tongue of the top rank 6 beast, the three-eyed toad. The three-eyed toad's third eye could see through reality. As long as one's cultivation level was not too much higher than its own, no matter how many tricks one used, one would not be able to fool it. The tongue that was covered in barbs was too fast. The moment the lady's voice was heard, The tongue had already wrapped around the two's bodies and slightly tightened. Swoosh! The two's bodies were torn apart, but they were Zhen Qi shadows. The lady was surprised. How did you avoid it? Yi Chen said, as long as the speed of the tongue is not faster than my reaction speed, I have a way to avoid it. You do not have to worry about that. Hee, you really don't want to consider joining our moon pavilion? The lady tried to persuade Yi Chen to join their organization. Let's get out of here first. Yi Chen had consumed a lot of his true qi shadows. After all, these shadows needed true qi to maintain, and in a short period of time, he had already lost dozens of true qi shadows. Shoving a pill into his mouth that could instantly replenish his Zhen Qi, Yi Chen increased the output of his Zhen Qi, pushing his speed to the limit that he could reach. Xiao. With the help of the Zhen Qi shadows, the two of them passed through the dense demonic qi and arrived at the edge of the beast tide. We've finally escaped. The beautiful woman took a deep breath. Yi Chen had no intention of letting go of her hand. He took her and flew towards the nearby mountains. The beautiful woman said with a smile that was not a smile, "Little brat, we have already escaped from the encirclement. How long are you going to hold my hand? Although I don't mind." Yi Chen said calmly, "If you want to die, you can let go." What do you mean? The beautiful woman knew that Yi Chen would not speak without thinking. It's simple. We have been targeted by the horned dragon snake. Luckily, it did not catch up. The horned dragon snake was a rank 7 beast. Speed was not its specialty, but for it to chase after two clasping Yuan realm warriors, it was as easy as drinking water. I guess it did not want to chase after two small fries like us. The beautiful woman indeed did not dare to let go of her hand. Without Yi Chen's separating shadow flying art, it was very likely that she would die. After all, she had seen how Yi Chen had brought her out of the encirclement with her own eyes. Among the beasts, the horned dragon snake's upper body stood straight up like a sky pillar. A pair of cold eyes pierced through the demonic qi, locking onto Yi Chen and the beautiful woman who were in the distance. Just like the beautiful woman had said, as a rank 7 beast, it did not want to chase after the two personally. All it needed to do was let out a beam of demonic qi. It opened its huge mouth, and an endless amount of demonic qi gathered. The horned dragon snake shot out a pitch-black light column, which broke through the demonic qi blockade within a second and appeared miles away. Yi Chen was as calm as still water as he yelled with a low voice. Explode! The two's bodies suddenly exploded, and a huge amount of afterimages shot out in all directions. Pooh! More than 80% of the afterimages did not manage to escape the attack range of the pitch-black light column, and they all disappeared within a second. The power of the pitch-black light column did not decrease at all, and it even pierced through a steep mountain that was even further away. Amidst the layers of mountains, because of the beast wave, there were no more beasts in the places where the beasts used to gather. What? Yi Chen could not help but puke out a mouthful of blood anymore. His body started to wobble. Grabbing Yi Chen's arm, the beautiful woman brought him down onto the rugged mountain road. You are wounded. The beautiful woman was still shocked before, but now she knew what kind of price she had to pay to perform that attack. Shoving an expensive healing pellet that was worth tens of thousands of gold into his mouth, Yi Chen sat on the ground with his legs crossed, and said with a pale face, 3 Zhen Qi afterimages is my normal limit. 5 Zhen Qi afterimages will make my Zhen Qi chaotic. Just now, I had used so many Zhen Qi afterimages at once, and my meridians and internal organs were injured quite badly. Help me protect me, I need to adjust my condition first. All right, aren't you afraid that I will hurt you? Yi Chen said, You can try. Never mind, you are so calm. You must have a backup plan. The beautiful woman shook her head. She had not known Yi Chen for long, and no matter what kind of danger he had encountered, she had never seen him panic. With her experience, she naturally knew that Yi Chen was not someone to be messed with. Plotting against him would be extremely difficult, not to mention that she had never really thought about killing him for money. Closing his eyes, Yi Chen quickly entered the healing state. 2 hours later, Yi Chen let out a breath that had a slight smell of blood, and slowly stood up. This is not a good place to stay. Let's go to the big city. The beautiful woman nodded. During the beast wave, there will be endless amounts of beasts coming. This time, it will not be a simple small beast wave. Shoo! Shoo! The two of them used their qin gong and flew far away. Not long after the two of them left, 2 human figures appeared in the iron city that had been razed to the ground. Sigh, we are late. Including the iron city, there are already 20 cities that have been destroyed. The death toll is over 30 million. Judging from the degree of destruction in the cities, there should be a rank 7 beast that passed by. Luckily, there were no rank 8 beasts. Otherwise, even some medium-sized cities would not be able to hold on. A small beast wave will not have many rank 7 beasts. This time, it is a special case. There were more than 10 rank 7 beasts. There is no sign of a beast wave, and those martial institutions that are too far away have not received the news yet. We will have to be busy and kill this rank 7 beast first. Yeah. It doesn't matter if we are busy. The two of them flashed and disappeared. Their speed was much faster than the great master of the alchemist martial school. During the beast wave, there would be no safe zone within 10,000 miles. Usually, the moment one got out of danger, another group of beasts would arrive. Arc cut. After killing a rank 6 beast, the beautiful woman forced a smile, going through dozens of battles in one day. I am afraid we will be exhausted to death before we even reach the big cities. Yi Chen did not say anything. In the past couple of days, they did not dare to fly in the sky, since it would be too obvious. It might even attract the top rank 6 beasts and rank 7 beasts. However, their traveling speed was extremely slow. On average, they could only travel 1 to 2,000 miles a day, and it was still not completely safe. They would be discovered by small groups of beasts from time to time. In a couple of days, when the astral-reaching realm warriors from other areas arrive, the situation should be much better. The beautiful woman said, indeed, the beast wave had happened too suddenly. If there had been a sign, then there would not have been so many deaths. On their way, countless villages and towns had been ravaged by the beast. The smell of blood was everywhere, making it look like hell on earth. Yi Chen sighed slightly. Before, he had tried so hard to bring people from 3 villages to the Iron City, but they still could not escape death. In front of the beast wave, warriors below the clasping Yuan realm would not be able to protect themselves at all. Once they were surrounded by a huge amount of beasts, even clasping Yuan realm warriors would not be able to escape. According to the beautiful woman's analysis, this was only a small beast wave with a lot of rank 7 beasts. A medium beast wave would be 10 times bigger than a small one, with a lot of rank 8 beasts and even rank 9 beasts. Moo! A demonic cow with wings on its back dove towards Yi Chen. That powerful beast Qi had shaken up the air, bringing up patterns everywhere. Lone Peak Kill. Facing the beast's attack, Yi Chen looked normal as he stabbed out a sword attack. The beast could feel the power of that sword attack and was about to dodge it. But then, it realized that no matter how hard it tried, it would not be able to get out of the attacking range of that sword attack. It was like Yi Chen was standing on top of a tall mountain. With the height of the mountain, that sword attack was filled with killing intent. Swoosh! A sword hole appeared on its forehead. The beast's body shook a little before it fell down. The beautiful woman's eyes lit up. I don't remember you performing this attack before. It is not that powerful, but it would still be hard for me to dodge it. I just learned it, Yi Chen said vaguely. The Lone Peak Kill was actually a combination of the 7 movements of the Lone Peak 13 swords. It was a combined sword movement. A long time ago, he had tried to combine sword movements, but he realized that the rank of the Sky Cloud sword art was too high. With his current cultivation and knowledge, he would not be able to combine it. Therefore, he had to start with the top-rank Mortal Realm sword art, the Lone Peak 13 swords. Before the beast wave, he had only combined 4 movements of the lone peak kill. Its power was only about the same as the last third movement of the sky cloud sword art, which was not that powerful. In the past couple of days of killing, he had killed thousands of beasts. Finally, he had combined 3 sword movements again. His power had instantly surpassed the sky cloud sword art, and was only weaker than the one sword attack, which consumed his mind power. Compared to the one sword attack's extreme speed and high attacking power, the lone peak kill's poetic perspective was even higher, and it complemented his entry-level sword intent. As for why, Yi Chen knew it very well. When he first learned the sword intent, it was actually because of the poetic perspective of the lone peak 13 sword. Therefore, the sword intent and the poetic perspective of the lone peak 13 swords were more or less related. As long as I combine the lone peak 13 swords into one movement, its power would definitely be more powerful than the one sword attack. But of course, it would only be temporary. The one sword attack would improve along with my cultivation, and its power would increase as well. Sooner or later, it would surpass the one sword attack. Killing beasts after beasts, Yi Chen thought to himself. Swoosh! Another mid-level level 6 demonic beast was assassinated without the slightest bit of resistance. Chapter 203. As the days passed, the number of demonic beasts increased. Within a radius of more than 20,000 li, there were traces of demonic beasts everywhere, covering the sky and covering the earth. The Gold Tripod City was the only big city within the Beast Waves area. It was more than 100 miles in both width and length, which was even bigger than the Wind City and the Happy City in the Windy Nation. The population had reached an astonishing 15 million, which was equivalent to the total population of 20 small cities. On the streets, clasping Yuan realm warriors could be seen everywhere, and condensing reality realm warriors were everywhere. As for the astral reaching realm warriors, they were not that rare anymore. Look, isn't that the inner master of the sky flying devil martial school, the Black Crow Man? The one beside him should be the fire spirit, right? The two of them used to be enemies decades ago. I did not expect that they would become good friends walking side by side today. Martial geniuses would usually compete with each other. The Black Crow Man and the Fire Spirit were both considered mid-level martial geniuses back in the day. It was because they did not want to lose that they managed to break through to the mid-astral reaching realm together. You are right. If a martial genius does not have a martial genius opponent, they would lose their passion very soon. Once there are a lot of martial geniuses, it would be easier for a martial genius to appear. As for the discussions, the Black Crow Man had always chosen to ignore them. He laughed and said, "Fire Spirit, you have killed one less rank 7 beast than me. It seems like I still have the advantage." The Fire Spirit said seriously, "You have only killed 3 rank 7 beasts. One of the 2 beasts I have killed was a top rank 7 beast. Regardless, it is a fact that I have killed more rank 7 beasts than you." The Black Crow Man did not let go of this point. The Fire Spirit was filled with a battling intent. "Why don't we fight again? A couple of months ago we did not have a winner. This time we might have to fight for a winner. Who is afraid of you? After the beast wave you can choose the location." The two entered a restaurant and were still bickering. The manager did not dare to disturb the two, so he followed behind with a smile. "Manager, let's sit here. Give us some dishes that go well with the wine and some good wine." The two of them sat by the window, and the Black Crow Taoist ordered the manager. "All right, it will be ready soon." The shopkeeper nodded and bowed as he retreated. Looking at the warriors walking on the street, the Fire Spirit suddenly sighed. Time flies so fast. Decades have passed in a blink of an eye. Being able to reach late astral reaching realm in this lifetime is already our limit. We won't be able to reach higher realms. To be able to reach late astral reaching realm, I am already very satisfied. Speaking of which, we are not considered powerful geniuses. The powerful geniuses are mostly Sea of Soul Realm experts. Not at all. I thought Xuanho's generation was the peak of all the martial geniuses. But now, it seems that the current generation of martial geniuses is the real peak, even comparable to the ancient era. For example, the Fire Spirit Prince of your Fire Spirit Martial School, he has already reached the peak level late clasping Yuan realm at the age of 22. He is even more talented than the head disciple of my Sky Flying Devil Martial School. The Black Crow Man complimented. The Fire Spirit shook his head. There is still a long way to go. I think only the last hidden dragon rank warrior from the South Rudra region could catch up with Xianho. But it is only a possibility, since Xianho had already reached the astral reaching realm at the age of 18. No one in the whole true spirit continent had ever broken this record. In the past 1,000 years, no one had been able to do it. No one had been able to do it in the past 1,000 years. It is indeed the highest honor. But Xianho is a special case after all. Judging from the number and quality of the martial geniuses, this generation is indeed the peak. Soon, the food and drinks were served. The two ate and chatted at the same time. They were only 500 miles away from the gold tripod city. Yi Chen and the beautiful lady had once again fallen into a crisis. This time, they were facing a top-rank 6 beast, the Iron Scale Beast, which looked like a dog and was covered in black scales. Arc Light Rain Cut. The lady extended her body, waving the curved blade in her hand for hundreds of times within a second. Countless arc-shaped blade chi landed on the Iron Scale Beast's body like a heavy rain. Ding! Dang! Countless sparks appeared. The lady's blade chi could only leave a slight mark on the Iron Scale Beast's body. She could not even break its scales. We can't do it anymore. This Iron Scale Beast is not as powerful as the Wind Wolf, but it is still not something we can handle. Yi Chen's body kept moving, looking for the weak spots of the Iron Scale Beast. Hearing her, he said, 500 miles is not that far. You go to the Gold Tripod City first, I will stall the beast. The Iron Scale Beast did not have the bloodline of an ancient beast, so it could not be counted as a tyrant of the rank 6 beast. But, normal peak level 8 clasping Yuan realm warriors would have a high chance of dying if they encountered it. Only martial geniuses who had trained even more powerful martial skills would be able to beat it. Of course, some peak level 8 clasping Yuan realm warriors who had no hope of reaching the astral reaching realm and had spent a lot of time studying powerful martial skills could also beat it, or even kill it. However, one of them was a mid-clasping Yuan realm warrior, and the other was a peak-level early clasping Yuan realm warrior. In terms of cultivation, they were completely suppressed by the Iron Scale Beast. In terms of power, they were also completely suppressed. If it were not for Yi Chen's flying art, which allowed him to create Zhen Qi shadows to confuse his opponent, he would have been torn into pieces already. The lady was shocked. You can handle it by yourself? I have more than 50% chance of escaping, Yi Chen said. After hesitating for a while, the lady said, My name is Guolan Yue, one of the attendants of the Moon Pavilion. This time, I owe you a favor. If you have any trouble in the future, you can come find me at the Moon Pavilion. She knew that Yi Chen's flying art was very powerful. If he was alone, he would have a great chance of escaping. If he brought her along, it would be troublesome. You be careful. Pushing her Zhen Qi, Guolan Yue extended her body and flew out like a flying bird. Roar! The Iron Scale Beast was annoyed by Yi Chen. Seeing that Guolan Yue had escaped from the battle, a red flame flashed through its eyes. It opened its mouth and let out a pile of burning beast chi. Woo! The air twisted intensely as the red beast chi followed right behind Guolan Yue. Guolan Yue had performed some kind of flying art. Her body flashed once, and she suddenly changed her trajectory. The red beast chi brushed past her and destroyed all of her protective Zhen Qi. Luckily, it was only the aftermath of the beast chi, which did not hurt her at all. After flashing a couple of times, she had already appeared miles away. Lone Peak Kill. While the iron scale beast was distracted, Yi Chen lifted up his star scar sword and stabbed right into the beast's neck. There was a gray spot there, which was indeed its weak spot. Not good. Separate. The star scar sword was stuck after piercing 5 inches in. Yi Chen's body shook a little as he separated into 3 Zhenqi shadows, while his real body backed out quickly. Boom. 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 The iron scale beast had only used 1 claw attack to tear apart Yi Chen's 3 Zhenqi shadows. These days, the Lone Peak Kill has combined another 2 sword movements. Its power has increased tremendously, but it is still not enough to hurt the iron scale beast. The merging speed of the Lone Peak Kill was getting slower and slower. In the first couple of days, he had combined 3 movements in a row, but now, he had only combined 2. Without Yi Chen's expectation, it would be even more difficult for him to combine the 10th and 11th movements. It would not be surprising if the difficulty was doubled. No matter what, with that sword attack, the iron scale beast had still been slightly wounded. Although it was not a big deal, how could it not be angry? It opened its mouth and spewed out beams of red beast chi towards Yi Chen. The huge amount of red beast chi looked like a perfect balsam flower in the air, with a huge attacking range. There was nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. Yi Chen bit on his teeth as he pushed his mysterious Zhen Qi with all of his power. He built layers after layers of Zhen Qi barriers in front of him, each 1/2 inch thick. Pop, 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 pop. The speed of Yi Chen's Zhen Qi barriers could not keep up with the speed of the red beast Qi breaking through. In a split second, only the last 3 Zhen Qi barriers were left. The remaining power of the red beast Qi had not disappeared yet, and it continued to break through the defense. Meanwhile, the iron scale beast had already jumped over. It raised its right claw and attacked towards Yi Chen. 1 sword attack. Holding the sword with both of his hands, Yi Chen had never been so focused before. His whole soul seemed to have been infused with the sword aura and sword intent. He threw out a sword attack towards the red beast Qi and the iron scale beast. Chin. The second the Zhen Qi barrier disappeared, the sword light shone even brighter. It was like a blue lightning striking down, clashing with the iron scale beast's huge claw. Sparks flew everywhere as Yi Chen was blown away, puking out a mouthful of blood. Surprisingly, the iron scale beast could not stop its body either, and was forced to move back 1/2 meter. Before, Yi Chen's attack could only shake its body slightly, and this time, the sword light was even more powerful. Even Yi Chen did not expect that he would be able to throw out a sword attack like this. I can feel that my sword intent has improved again. If 30% of the sword intent is the entry-level sword intent, then I should be at 40% now. 99% would be the entry-level sword intent, and 100% would be the completion-level sword intent. While his body was being pushed back, many thoughts flashed through Yi Chen's mind. Sword intent was a very mysterious thing. Only those who had the sword intent would be able to sense the level of their own or other people's sword intent. The others could only analyze it through comparison. Just then, when he had completely infused his mind into the sword intent and the sword aura, Yi Chen's sword intent had improved. It seemed to be more concentrated and condensed, and the sword light had become even more powerful. Alright, although a lot of people had died in the beast wave, it was also a good training for me. I might be able to learn the entry-level sword intent in a shorter time. There was no difference in the power of the entry-level sword intent and the completion-level sword intent. However, the completion-level sword intent was the only way to reach a higher level. I made a breakthrough. After realizing what had just happened, Yi Chen suddenly realized that his Zhen Qi had been circulating faster. The Zhen Qi spiral inside his dantian had expanded, and the color in the center had become even darker. Gradually, it looked like a star, which was the sign of reaching the mid-clasping Yuan realm. Only those who walked out from mountains of corpses and oceans of blood are truly powerful warriors. This saying was not wrong at all. After half a month of killing, Yi Chen had accumulated a lot of power. If he had trained for a while, he would have reached the mid-clasping Yuan realm sooner or later. However, under the pressure of the iron scale beast, his speed had been pushed forward. There was only a slight difference between the mid-clasping Yuan realm and the peak-level early-clasping Yuan realm. However, Yi Chen was already one of the top warriors in all aspects. Even the slightest improvement in his cultivation would have a great impact on his power. With his current power, he could easily beat the Iron Scale Beast before. Right now, the Iron Scale Beast was extremely furious. Burning red beast chi gathered around its body as it jumped towards Yi Chen at an extremely fast speed, trying to kill Yi Chen with one claw attack. Shoo! Its huge body turned into a shooting star. The Iron Scale Beast's speed had suddenly reached beyond the speed of sound. The black scales on its body started to shine with a red light. Great, I also want to see how powerful I am now. Without stepping back, Yi Chen threw out a sword attack with all of his power. As the sword attack was thrown out, a bright blue sword light shone brightly. Even the air had been torn apart, and the space in front of Yi Chen turned into a vacuum. Chapter 204. Boom! Under that sword light, the scales on the Iron Scale Beast's chest had been torn apart. Dark red blood splashed everywhere, and its whole body was blown backwards. While flying backwards, the beast's cold eyes were filled with confusion and confusion. It could not understand why Yi Chen, who was not its opponent before, had suddenly become so powerful. The power of that sword attack had reminded it of the Wind Wolf, which had the bloodline of ancient beasts. Once, when they were fighting for territory, Yi Chen had broken through its defense with only one claw attack and forced it to run for its life. No matter what, the Iron Scale Beast was still a top-rank 6 beast. It twisted its body and stopped its retreat immediately. The fist-sized scales on its body started to shake together, looking like countless sharp blades. Its already huge body looked even more powerful than before. The Iron Scale Beast roared 3 times, and its neck suddenly thickened. It opened its mouth and shot out an extremely condensed red beast chi towards Yi Chen. The beast chi was like a spear, with the tip of the spear in a spiral shape. Separate. Leaving a Zhen Qi shadow where he was standing, Yi Chen's real body drew a perfect arc in the air, attacking the Iron Scale Beast from the side. That kind of speed and smoothness was way beyond what it had been before. Even the Iron Scale Beast thought that the Zhen Qi shadow was its real body. The second the Zhen Qi shadow was shattered, Yi Chen's attack had also arrived. His star-scar sword carried a sharp light as it pierced through the beast's neck. Blood puked out. The Iron Scale Beast felt like its throat was blocked by someone. It wanted to scream, but it could not. Its body was like a sieve, shaking non-stop. Cut! With the increase of his cultivation, the power of his one sword kill had increased drastically. The sword sliced through the wound of the Iron Scale Beast, leaving behind a 3-foot-long wound. That sword attack should have been enough to blow away the Iron Scale Beast, but it was unexpectedly able to withstand the impact and raise up its 3 to 4 meters long right claw, attacking towards Yi Chen. That sharp claw light tore through the air, and the sharp screeching sound could almost shatter people's eardrums. Yi Chen turned his left palm into a fist and performed the 4th movement of the Tyrant Fist art, attacking towards the right claw of the Iron Scale Beast. With a thunderous sound, the human and the beast backed out at the same time. The difference was that the Iron Scale Beast's body was rolling backwards, while Yi Chen's feet were rubbing against the air, leaving a light white chi wave in the air. Looking at the claw mark on his fist, Yi Chen was shocked. Demonic beasts were best at close combat, and only a small portion of them were good at long-range attack. The Iron Scale Beast's claw was as hard as a low-rank great weapon, and it contained an extremely hot beast chi. Under one claw attack, even a peak-level late-clasping Yuan Realm warrior would be killed. If it weren't for the fact that the 4th movement of the Tyrant Fist art was as powerful as a mid-rank Earth Realm martial skill, and that he had trained the King Kong jade body and added the sword intent to his fist, that claw attack would have shattered his left arm completely. I mainly train sword arts, so I don't need a lot of fist arts. But the tyrant fist art is obviously not able to keep up with me. I have to find another high-rank fist art to replace it. Or when I have enough knowledge, I can combine the 4 movements of the tyrant fist art into one. That way, it would have the power of a high-rank Earthrealm martial skill. Thinking about that, Yi Chen's body kept flashing. 4 Jin Qi shadows appeared one after another, and his real body appeared on the right side of the iron scale beast within a second, stabbing into its eye. The killing intent of the lone peak kill was way too sharp. The iron scale beast was confused by the Zhen Qi shadow for a second, then under the effect of the killing intent, it could not move at all. By the time it was able to control its body perfectly, the sword tip had already pierced into its eye socket. Swoosh! Pulling out his star scar sword, Yi Chen backed out quickly. He knew that the iron scale beast, which had lost one eye, would definitely go crazy for a while, so it was not a good idea to get too close to it. He decided to wait for it to use up some of its energy before finishing it off. Just as expected, the pain of having its left eye pierced enraged the iron scale beast. Its remaining eye instantly turned red, glowing with a blood-red light. Immediately after, the red demonic aura on its body was like boiling water, violently fluctuating and soaring into the sky. Shoo! A red light flashed in the air, and the iron scale beast appeared in front of Yi Chen within a second, landing a claw on his head. His head had been shattered, but it was not Yi Chen's real body. Yi Chen's real body was behind the iron scale beast, and he stabbed into its back leg. The iron scale beast was about to go crazy. The wind wolf could beat it because it was powerful enough, while Yi Chen's power was obviously not that much more powerful than it, but he was still able to suppress it completely. The scales on its body suddenly stood up. The iron scale beast shook its body, and countless sharp scales shot out in all directions, making a continuous swooshing sound. After stabbing the beast's hind limb, Yi Chen had already stepped back 100 meters away. Although the scales were still flying at him, they were still too far away. Therefore, they were blocked by Yi Chen's sword light and his protective Zhen Qi layer. The scales fell down in all directions, unable to hurt him at all. The iron scale beast had not reached the point where it could grow scales all at once. With so many scales shooting out at once, many parts of its body were bare, and its defense had dropped drastically. Following the muscles and bones, Yi Chen found the second fatal weakness of the iron scale beast, which was a light-colored line on its back. Tornado-broken clouds. With this discovery, Yi Chen came up with a battle plan. He waved his star scar sword in the air, and the sword chi rose up, bringing up a tornado that was powerful enough to cut through steel. It wrapped around Yi Chen and attacked towards the iron scale beast. After shooting out the scales, the iron scale beast's body froze, and it was sucked into the tornado. Kill! In the upper half of the tornado, Yi Chen held the sword with both of his hands and stabbed into the light-colored line. It went 3 feet deep, and then he pulled it back, cutting open the back of the iron scale beast along the light-colored line. The iron scale beast screamed into the sky. It tried its best to struggle, trying to get rid of Yi Chen. However, the star scar sword had been stabbed deep into its body, so how could it get rid of Yi Chen easily? Its life force and stamina started to leak out like a broken balloon. After a few blinks of an eye, the iron scale beast's body softened and fell from the sky. Finally dead. Yi Chen could sense that the iron scale beast's life force had been completely drained. Its body was not as tough as before, but a bit soft. It was the sign of losing a huge amount of its beast chi and life force. Without the support of its life force and the powerful beast chi, the iron scale beast's defense was not even as powerful as a rank 4 beast. Boom! The dead body of the iron scale beast smashed a hole on the ground. Yi Chen jumped aside. Waving his star scar sword, Yi Chen soon took out the beast's inner pellet. After thinking for a while, He also pried out the beast's claws. It was a pure sharp weapon, and with the beast chi it contained, it would not be any weaker than a low-rank great weapon. In this true spirit continent there were some great weapons that were made from the bones of beasts. Under special circumstances they could trigger some unexpected effects. Awo! Awo! After collecting all the materials, Yi Chen's ears twitched. From 1,000 miles away, there was a sky-shaking roar. Vaguely, he could even feel that the air flow in the surreal space had increased a lot. It is a rank 7 beast. No, it is a rank 8 beast. Yi Chen's expression changed drastically. A rank 7 beast would be able to kill him within a second, and a rank 8 beast would only need to roar once, and it would probably be able to shatter his soul completely. This small beast wave was indeed not that simple. Not only were there a lot more rank 7 beasts, even rank 8 beasts had started to appear. It looked like it was going to become a mid-sized beast wave. Extending his body, Yi Chen flew towards the gold tripod city. On the wall of the gold tripod city, there were a lot of astral-reaching realm warriors standing on top of it. The Black Crow man frowned. That roar just now even made me feel a little bit scared. I am afraid it is not a rank 7 beast, but a rank 8 beast. The fire spirit said, as long as the rank 9 beasts do not show up, the gold tripod city will be as stable as a mountain. As for the rank 8 beasts appearing in this small beast wave, it is indeed confusing. Perhaps this 100 years is the peak of the beast wave. From the ancient times until now there had been countless beast waves. From the records there was a pattern. The beast waves of the same rank would increase or decrease by a certain amount. Once it reached a certain level, it would suddenly increase again, reaching a certain peak. It should be. Besides a few astral-reaching realm warriors on the wall, most of them were clasping Yuan realm warriors. Look, the young generation has finally arrived. The beast tide this time isn't that dangerous. The surrounding large sects will definitely send the best of the younger generation to participate in the battle. Only through endless battles can one make breakthroughs faster and improve further. That is the head disciple Meng Chao and the second disciple Tian Hao from the rank 7 martial institution, the Alchemist Martial School. Meng Chao was ranked 40 in the last Hidden Dragon rank. His power is even more powerful than a lot of older clasping Yuan realm warriors. The head disciple of the Green Eagle Palace is here as well. And the 4th Knight and the 6th Knight of the Moon Pavilion's 7 Knights are here as well. These two do not belong to any martial institutions. They are purely young warriors trained by the Moon Pavilion. However, they did not make it to the last Hidden Dragon rank. I heard that their power is not below the top 40, and they might be able to make it to the top 30. As time went on, the young warriors started to show up one after another, including Tian Hao, who had just parted ways with Yi Chen. His power was considered average among this group of people. A few of them had even shocked the clasping Yuan realm warriors on the wall. The most outstanding ones would be the 4th Knight and the 6th Knight of the Moon Pavilion. These two were both mid-clasping Yuan realm warriors. They had a cold expression on their faces, and the qi coming from their bodies was extremely sharp. What a disappointment! I thought I would be able to find some interesting young warriors in the gold tripod city. The 6th Knight was a teenager. His eyes were slightly squinted like a poisonous snake. Guolanyue chuckled. The news of the beast wave had just spread out not long ago. I am afraid those who are far away would not be able to come. As she spoke, she thought of Yi Chen. This guy was not even 18 years old, and he was extremely talented in battling. Unfortunately, his cultivation was still a bit low, and he did not have enough experience. If he could join the Moon Pavilion, he would only be a backup member of the 7 Knights. Once he was powerful enough, he would be able to compete for the official members. The 7 Knights was a group of 7 young warriors. Every one of them was a top warrior among the young generation. Right now, 3 of them were from other martial institutions, and the other 4 were trained by the Moon Pavilion itself. The fourth knight and the sixth knight were indeed the young warriors trained by the Moon Pavilion. They were quite valued by the leader of the pavilion. This time, when the beast wave broke out, they had been sent over immediately. The tall and cold-looking fourth knight said lightly, "Our battle will be in the next hidden dragon rank. This is just an appetizer. No need to care too much." Chapter 205. Guolangue said, "All right, let's go into the city first." She had come out of the city to greet the two when she saw them coming. After all, in the Moon Pavilion, Chi Ye's status was even higher than the manager, which meant that he did not care about anything. Shoo! 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 The three of them extended their bodies and flew onto the city wall directly. Tian Hao, you said that the person who saved your life was almost as powerful as me. Are you kidding me? What was his rank in the last hidden dragon rank? Meng Chao looked at Tian Hao with a sneer. In the alchemist martial school, he was always the one with the most power. Therefore, he must be jealous of him and wanted to find someone to beat him up. Tian Hao said, "If I am not wrong, he will definitely come to the gold tripod city as well. By then, we will know for sure." Meng Chao said in disdain, "If it were 2 years ago, I might not be his opponent. But after 2 years, my power has not only increased by a little, but more than 2 times. The top martial art in our martial school, the high-rank Earth Realm martial art, the Red Burning Great Art, has also been trained to the 9th level by me. What does he have to compete with me? As for the sword intent you mentioned, it is not even worth mentioning. In the last Hidden Dragon rank competitions, I had beaten a sword artist who had the sword intent. Perhaps for most of the people, the sword intent was very rare and powerful. But for the young warriors who were ranked in the Hidden Dragon rank, there were way too many people who had the sword intent. Not to mention the older generation, there were already more than 10 young warriors who had the sword intent. There might even be some of them who did not participate in the competitions because they were not powerful enough. Therefore, for Meng Chao, what he cared about was power. He did not care about the sword intent or the blade intent or anything else. Tian Hao said, "You will know when you see him." Actually, he was not sure if Yi Chen could win against Meng Chao. As the head disciple of the alchemist martial school, Meng Chao had trained all the top martial arts in the martial school, such as the high-rank Earth Realm martial art, Red Great Art, which only a few core elders were qualified to train. Even he was not qualified. Besides that, Meng Chao's martial art was the Red Great Palm art, which came with the Red Great Palm art. Both of them complemented each other, and their combined power was far more powerful than 2 high-rank Earth Realm martial arts. As for mentioning Yi Chen's name, it was a slip of the tongue. Therefore, he had no choice but to keep it up. After all, Yi Chen was indeed powerful. A normal rank 6 beast could not even take 1 sword attack from him. The Supreme Elder of the Alchemist faction said, "All right, stop talking. Tian Hao, it's not that I want to criticize you, but your first senior brother's strength is obvious to all. Not everyone can surpass him." Yes. Since the Grand Elder had spoken, Tian Hao didn't dare to talk back. Dozens of famous young warriors landed on top of the city wall. They looked at each other with a strong fighting intent. The 6th knight glanced at Meng Chao and said with an evil smile, "Among all of us, he is the only one with some power. I wonder if he can exchange a few attacks with me." Guolangue smiled helplessly. The 7 knights in the Moon Pavilion all had their own characteristic. The 6th knight's specialty was his coldness and arrogance. However, he was indeed powerful. Even Guolangue couldn't handle 3 attacks from him, and that was when he had not used all of his power. The 4th knight said calmly, "The powerful one is here." Yeah. The 6th knight and Guolangue followed his gaze and looked out of the city. In the wilderness, a figure with a pair of black wings was flying towards them at an extreme speed. That pair of wings was about 4 to 5 meters long, and it looked so real. The sharp feathers were clearly visible. Wherever it went, the air around it was cut open. Its speed was even faster than the speed of sound, and it was not just a little bit. The fire spirit focused his eyes and laughed. "Black Crow, your disciple is here." The Black Crow man laughed. "This brat, he is just hanging around. I thought he was training hard in the sky flying demon martial school." "Don't be so dissatisfied. Your disciple has trained the same martial art as you, the Black Crow great art. He should have reached the 10th realm by now, right? He was only at the 10th realm 3 months ago." The Black Crow great art is a high-rank Earth realm martial art. It has 13 realms in total. Training to the 10th realm would almost be able to reach the top 20 of this year's Hidden Dragon rank. While the two were talking, the battling intent of the young generation had been ignited. Meng Chao stared at the winged teenager and said word by word, "The 25th of the Hidden Dragon rank, Wu Liangyu. This time, I will definitely fight you to see who is better." In the last Hidden Dragon rank competitions, he had lost to 3 people. One of them was indeed the disciple of the Black Crow man, Wu Liangyu, who was ranked 25th in the Hidden Dragon rank. He was a famous warrior in the whole South Rudra region. The great master of the alchemist martial school said, "I am afraid his Black Crow great art has been trained to the 10th realm. If you can also train your red burning great art to the 10th realm, you will have a great chance to beat him." Meng Chao said, "My red burning great art and red burning great palm art are a set of martial arts. The power they can bring out is extremely powerful. With my current power, I might be able to beat him." The elder shook his head. "It would be difficult, very difficult." The Black Crow great art was different from the other high-rank Earth realm martial arts. Not only was it extremely fast, but the attacking power of that pair of wings was also very high. It was way harder than the Great Steel, only slightly weaker than a low-rank great weapon. Among the same rank martial arts, it was almost one of the top ones. On the other side, Wu Liangyu, I am not his opponent. Out of Guo Lanyue's expectation, the 6th knight admitted that he was not Wu Liangyu's opponent. Guo Lanyue said, "Although our Moon Pavilion is not a martial institution, we are way more powerful than the normal rank 7 martial institutions. In some aspects, we are even more powerful than the rank 6 martial institutions. As long as you guys work hard enough, the Moon Pavilion will definitely support you with all of our power. We will spread the name of Wu Liangyu across the whole South Rudra region, and even the whole True Spirit continent." The 4th knight did not say anything. She was trying to figure out Wu Liangyu's power from his qi. Eventually, she came to the conclusion that Wu Liangyu's power should be able to compete with the 3rd knight. As for herself, she might not lose to him either. Half a year ago, she had battled with the 3rd knight, and she had only lost to him by 1 attack. Shoo! The pitch-black wings retracted, and Wu Liangyu appeared right next to the Black Crow man. He said with respect, "Teacher." The Black Crow man nodded, "You came at the right time. After this beast wave battle, I hope you can learn more." "I will. This year's Hidden Dragon rank competition, my goal is to be in the top 10. Good. Ambitious. But ambition alone is not enough. There are countless martial geniuses in the whole South Rudra region, and you are not the only one who has improved. Everyone is working hard to train. Also, let me introduce you. This is the fire spirit that I have always told you about. He is my opponent." "Greetings, fire spirit." After greeting, Wu Liangyu looked around. Other than pausing slightly on the 4th knight, he completely ignored everyone else. Wu Liangyu is here as well. He is the 3rd disciple of the Sky Flying Devil Martial School. His talent is only below the head disciple, the Demon Eye, and the 2nd disciple, Murong Qingqing. What I am curious about is that Murong Qingqing's rank is even lower than Wu Liangyu's. Why is she the 2nd disciple of the Sky Flying Devil Martial School? Normally, the 2nd disciple should be Wu Liangyu. I do not know about that either. Maybe there is something else. Do not underestimate Murong Qingqing. I have watched the last Hidden Dragon rank competition, and Murong Qingqing did not seem to use all of her power. Plus, the martial art that she has trained is even more powerful than the Black Crow Great Art. It is one of the top 2 martial arts of the Sky Flying Devil Martial School, the Sky Demon Great Art. Wu Liangyu's arrival had raised the discussion on the city wall. Another young warrior has come. Who is that? His cultivation is quite good, at the mid-clasping Yuan realm. Some of the people had sharp eyes. They immediately saw a very young figure flying towards them from 8 miles away. Although his speed was not as fast as Wu Liangyu, his cultivation was not that far off. I have never seen him before. I think he is a new warrior who has just appeared out of nowhere. Yeah, his cultivation is quite good. I wonder about his battling power. Among the young generation, battling power is the most important thing. Cultivation is the last thing. Hearing the people talking, Tian Hao could not help but look over. He could not help but say, "He is Yi Chen, brother Yi." Meng Chao said, "No wonder you are so impressed with him. He is a mid-clasping Yuan realm warrior. But cultivation is nothing." Without arguing with Meng Chao, Tian Hao waved at Yi Chen, "Brother Yi, over here." Flying in the air, Yi Chen heard Tian Hao's voice. He hesitated a little bit, but still shot towards that direction. His body dragged out an extremely thin chi wave in the air. The second Yi Chen got close to the city wall, Meng Chao took a step forward and said lightly, "Let me test him. I want to see how weak the person you admire is." Boom! A red fire wave shot out of Meng Chao's body, attacking towards Yi Chen. Wherever the fire wave went, the air was evaporated, turning into a vacuum. Break! Yi Chen did not change his expression. His palm was like a blade, cutting on the fire wave. Swoosh! The fire wave was cut open, and Yi Chen's body had already landed next to Tian Hao. Tian Hao said to Meng Chao with a bit of anger, "Meng Chao, what is the meaning of this?" Meng Chao did not care about Tian Hao's attitude. He studied Yi Chen and said, "Not bad. You managed to break through one of my random attacks. You do have some skills." Yi Chen said lightly, "I see. No wonder you are so weak." "You?" Meng Chao's eyes darkened. How could he not understand what Tian Hao meant? He was saying that his random attack was very weak. "Brother Yi, let's talk over here." Tian Hao did not want Meng Chao and Yi Chen to have a conflict because of him. He had already blamed himself for spilling the beans earlier. "Alright." Yi Chen walked past Meng Chao and stood next to Tian Hao. "I hope you can be just as powerful on the battlefield." Meng Chao was not the kind of person who would try to beat his opponent out of impulse. For him, the main purpose of this trip was to fight against the beasts. During the battle, everyone's power would be revealed. After all, there would not be millions of beasts, but millions of them. Without a certain power, it would be very hard for them to win. Who was weaker and who was more powerful would be revealed. How is this possible? That little brat has reached the mid-clasping Yuan realm. As someone who had been with Yi Chen for half a month, Guolan was very shocked. A couple of hours ago, he was still at the peak level early clasping Yuan realm, but after a couple of hours, he had reached the mid-clasping Yuan realm. Judging solely on his training speed, it was definitely shocking. He had probably reached his limit during the tough battle against the Iron Scale Beast. Alright, the 4th and 6th Knights of the Moon Pavilion are here. With them here, this little brat would definitely feel a lot of pressure. He might even join the Moon Pavilion and try his best to become an official member of the 7 Knights to prove his power. A smile appeared on the corner of Guolan mouth. She was in a good mood. Chapter 206. Everyone thought that the beasts would arrive one after another. However, after waiting for 3 days, besides seeing 1 or 2 groups of beasts, nothing had happened. It seems like the beasts have learned to be smart. They know that coming in batches would not help, and would only give us time to breathe. Without any surprises, the beasts are preparing for a big battle. They will gather all the beasts to attack the Gold Tripod City. Although this small beast wave is not simple, There are dozens of astral-reaching realm warriors gathered in the gold tripod city, thousands of clasping yuan realm warriors, and countless condensing reality realm warriors. Even if there were millions of beasts, they would not be able to take down the gold tripod city. You are right. Before, a lot of rank 7 beasts had already been killed. There should not be more than 5 rank 7 beasts left. Adding a rank 8 beast, the gold tripod city would still have the upper hand. Later on, the gold tripod city would become the training ground for the young generation. I can't wait. Not only the young generation, but we will also have the chance to reach the next level. Yeah. Although we will not be able to have the same achievement as the young generation, there is still hope for us to reach the next level. The beast's strange behavior did not make the warriors in the gold tripod city feel depressed. Instead, they were all excited, looking forward to the big battle. On the 7th day, a small amount of warriors went up to the top of the wall to check out the situation. There were more than 2 million warriors in the gold tripod city, and even a small part of them would be around 300,000 to 400,000. The good thing was that the gold tripod city's wall was more than 100 miles long, and the 4 sections of the wall added up to more than 400 miles. If they stood side by side, it would be able to fit 200,000 warriors. Adding the width of the wall, it would not be crowded at all. On the west side of the wall, Yi Chen and Tian Hao stood side by side. It is already the 7th day, and I have not even seen a shadow of the beasts. Compared to Yi Chen, Tian Hao was more eager to increase his power, since the next Hidden Dragon rank competition would start in 8 or 9 months. Yi Chen said, "It will take a while for the beasts to gather. No rush." Tian Hao said, "The small beast wave is hard to come by in 30 years. Every time it happens, there would be a group of people who would be able to increase their power. I hope it will be my turn this time. If you're too impatient, it'll be counterproductive. It's most important to correct your mentality." Yi Chen had already increased his cultivation, and it would be very hard for him to improve again. But that was not his goal. He had only combined the 9th movement of the Lone Peak of 13 Swords, and every movement after that would be extremely difficult. This battle with the beasts would be a great opportunity. As for Tian Hao's feelings, Yi Chen could understand. But he knew very well that on the path of martial arts, impatience was a big taboo, and he needed to have the right mentality. Tian Hao exclaimed in surprise, "Sect Master said this to me before. It's exactly the same." Yi Chen didn't say anything. There were many things that needed to be comprehended by oneself. Only when one had comprehended it would it be considered one's own. Others could only guide you from the side. Roar, 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 roar. Suddenly, a series of beast roars came from the silent wilderness. The roars were continuous, covering the sky and covering the earth. Even the air was boiling, creating ripples. As far as the eye could see, dozens of miles away, black beasts were approaching. It was like the water in a pond had been dyed black by ink, and the gold tripod city was the only clean place. The beasts are here. Along with the screams of many warriors, the warriors nearby were all woken up. 1 spread to 10, 10 spread to 100. Soon, all the warriors rushed out of the streets, rushing to the top of the city wall. That kind of oppressive feeling made the normal residents of the gold tripod city nervous. Their hearts were beating fast. Actually, without the warning from the warriors on the city wall, everyone would have noticed the arrival of the beasts soon. It was because the sunny sky had suddenly darkened, and the beast chi had spread out everywhere, forming huge dark clouds. The clouds were covered with lightning, and there was a vague sound of thunder. Running up to the city wall to take a look, a lot of people gasped. So many beasts. There must be at least 10 million. More than that. I think there must be 20 million of them. I can't even see the end of them. If there were no astral-reaching realm warriors, to be honest, I would be a bit scared. Who wouldn't be scared? 20 million beasts. It would be more than enough to destroy the gold tripod city. Among the endless demonic beasts, the most eye-catching ones were without a doubt the 6 huge demonic beasts. 5 of them were the size of small hills, and the one on the far left was the horned dragon snake that Yi Chen was familiar with. This horned dragon snake was covered in wounds, and one of the horns on its head was broken. It seemed like it had been through a huge battle and was badly wounded. Besides the horned dragon snake, there were 3 wolves, a mountain-like 6-eyed spider, a 3-tailed one-horned cow, and a silver lightning giant eagle that was covered in lightning. All of them were rank 7 demonic beasts, and the demonic chi on their bodies shot up into the sky, merging with the dark cloud-like demonic chi. In the middle of the 5 7th-level demonic beasts was a ferocious ape. This ape was over 100 meters tall, and in terms of size, it couldn't even compare to the smallest 6-eyed spider. However, its aura completely surpassed all the other demonic beasts, and its ferocious aura was like a tsunami. It was a rank 8 beast, the King Kong demon ape. Let's go first. We don't want to get too close and damage the gold tripod city. The astral-reaching realm warriors had made their move. Once they made their moves, they attacked right at the 5 rank 7 beasts and that rank 8 beast, the King Kong demon ape. In their eyes, only rank 7 beasts and rank 8 beasts were worth their time. Everything below rank 7 was just like ants, and it would be best to leave it to the young ones. Roar! Attacking the King Kong demon ape were 3 mid-astral reaching realm warriors and 1 peak-level mid-astral reaching realm warrior. With the combined power of the 4 of them, even if the King Kong demon ape was extremely aggressive, it would not be able to do anything. As for the remaining 10 astral-reaching realm warriors, they had also teamed up, each finding a rank 7 beast and starting to fight with it. A fire in the city would bring disaster to the fish in the moat. Usually, when a rank 7 beast and an astral-reaching realm warrior clashed, thousands of beasts would be killed by the shockwave, without leaving any bones behind. The King Kong demon ape was extremely intelligent. It knew that if it continued like this, even the 20 million beasts would not be able to handle it. It would have to fight outside of the beast group. Boom! The ground cracked open as the King Kong demon ape jumped a couple of miles away. Chase! The 4 astral-reaching realm warriors chased closely. Seeing the King Kong demon ape's actions, the horned dragon python and the other level 7 demonic beasts knew what was going on. They summoned their demonic chi and rushed in the direction the King Kong demon ape had left. You don't want to hurt the beasts, but we don't want to hurt the gold tripod city either. That's exactly what I want. Haha, just now we exchanged a few moves, and at least tens of thousands of demonic beasts died. No wonder the adamantine demon ape wanted to leave and find an open space to fight again. If it were a one-on-one battle, none of the astral-reaching realm warriors would have the confidence to win against a rank 7 beast. But, if the 2 of them joined hands, they would have a much higher chance of winning. At least, they would be able to guarantee that they would not die. Since that was the case, there was nothing to worry about. Once the rank 7 beasts, rank 8 beasts, and astral-reaching realm warriors had left, it would be the final battle between the gold tripod city warriors and the beasts. When the beasts were less than 3 miles away from the gold tripod city, a warrior rushed down the city wall and shouted, "Kill! Kill! Kill! Kill!" Countless warriors rushed down, their aura increasing drastically. The first one to attack was none other than Wu Liangyu, who was extremely fast. Both of his hands shook and his body was like lightning. His speed was even faster than the speed of sound. The warriors with lower cultivation could not even see his shadow. They could only see the black chi waves forming into a line. Death cut. His body turned from extreme movement to extreme stillness. Wu Liangyu flapped his wings in front of him. 2 black cutting waves intersected with each other, turning into a 10 meters huge cross-cutting wave. It was only one attack, but 60 to 70 beasts had been torn into pieces. The aftermath of the attack left a huge cross on the ground, which was extremely shocking. After that, Yi Chun and the rest of the warriors also started to attack. Taking out his star scar sword, Yi Chun did not try to show off on purpose. He performed his sky cloud sword art's tornado broken clouds, which had the widest attack range, towards the beast wave. The sword chi twisted the chi flow, forming a light blue tornado. The tornado carried a horrifying aura as it roared and attacked the beast wave within a second. Shoo! 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 All the demonic beasts below level 5 were sucked into the tornado and sliced into pieces. The level 5 demonic beasts couldn't help but get closer to the tornado under the powerful rotating force. They revolved around the tornado and were pierced by the sword chi that shot out. A two-headed wolf king rushed out of the tornado's range, jumping towards Yi Chun. Cut! Yi Chun did not even look at it as he raised his star scar sword up high. A huge amount of blood spilled out. The two heads of the two-headed wolf king had been cut off. Its body fell down from the sky, sliding on the ground. Red cut godly palm. Not far away, Meng Chao's whole body was covered in fire. He threw out a palm attack, and that burning fire Zhen Qi condensed into a 10 meters huge palm. There was a red flame burning on the surface of that palm. The horrifying temperature had evaporated a huge part of the air as it slammed down towards the beast wave. Boom! The ground shook, and a huge palm print appeared on the ground. All the beasts within its range had been crushed into ashes, merging into the ground. Meng Chao took a look at Yi Chun. Yi Chun did not pay attention to Meng Chao. He had his own goal, which was to completely merge the Lone Peak Kill. By then, judging solely on attacking power, the Lone Peak Kill would be way more powerful than the one-sword attack. 100 Snake Attack. The sixth knight's martial skill was very strange. He stretched out both of his arms, and Zhen Qi poured out from his palms, turning into huge snakes that were as thick as a human's thighs. Those Zhen Qi snakes made a hissing sound as they slithered on the ground. Their speed was unbelievably fast, piercing through all the beasts that jumped on them. Compared to the sixth knight, the fourth knight, who was a female, looked more masculine and violent. She lifted up her right arm, bent her upper body, and threw out a punch onto the ground. Boom! With the fourth knight as the starting point, 3 mud mounds shot out, exploding in the beast wave. The number of beasts killed was even more than the sixth knight. However, she was not that lucky. 3 rank 6 flying beasts were attracted by her attack. They screamed and dove towards her at the same time. Break! The fourth knight's eyes were like lightning. Her right arm disappeared all of a sudden. Then, hundreds of fist shadows appeared in the air. The protective beast chi of the rank 6 beasts was as fragile as a piece of paper under the fist shadows. Even their owners were blown into pieces. So powerful! It was the first time for Guolanyue to see the fourth knight attack, so she could not help but feel shock. Chapter 207. Turning her head to look for Yi Chun, Guolanyue thought to herself, "Did you see that? This was the power of the 7 knights. Every one of them was a top warrior among the young generation. In the South Rudra region, even the rank 6 martial institutions would not be able to compete with the Moon Pavilion in this aspect. The 7 knights would be famous one day. Hey! Attendant Gua, don't get distracted." The 6th knight had taken care of a rank 6 beast that was attacking Guolanyue, reminding her, who was still looking for Yi Chun. Guolanyue smiled apologetically. There were too many people and beasts, and Yi Chun did not seem to like being high-profile. She could not find him no matter how hard she tried. Death Tornado. Among the young generation, the one with the highest profile was without a doubt Wu Liangyu, who was ranked 25 in the last hidden dragon rank. He flapped his wings, and the pitch-black light shone brightly. Countless arc-shaped cutting waves stacked on top of each other, forming into a tornado-like attack wave, attacking the beast waves again and again. This is way too exaggerated. This attack has killed at least 100 beasts, including 3 rank 6 beasts. Back in the day, The Black Crow Man had become famous in the South Rudra region with his Black Crow great art. Right now, Wu Liangyu is way more powerful than the Black Crow Man when he was young. Normal peak level late, clasping Yuan realm warriors might not even be able to compete with him. The 10th realm of the Black Crow great art. How despairing! Looking at the crisscrossing cracks on the ground, a lot of the warriors around could not help but click their tongues. So powerful! He is indeed the #1 warrior among the young generation in the Gold Tripod City. In this year's Hidden Dragon rank competitions, he might be able to make it into the top 20 or even the top 15, shocking the whole South Rudra region. Murong Qingqing, in the last Hidden Dragon rank competition, I know that you did not use all of your power, and only used the 6th realm of the Sky Demon Great Art to fight. You had already reached the 7th realm, and right now you should be at around the 8th realm. Although the Sky Demon Great Art is a top-rank Earth Realm martial art, the difference should not be that big. With my 10th realm of the Black Crow Great Art, I will definitely be able to beat you and make you my woman. As for this year's Hidden Dragon rank competition, I will definitely be able to get into the top 10. With the secret martial art that I have prepared for so long, who would be able to beat me after the top 10? Wu Liangyu was in high spirits. The Black Crow Man had 3 disciples, and the other 2 had only trained their Black Crow Great Art to the 7th and 8th realm. Only he had trained it to the 10th realm. In just 2 years, he had trained a high-rank Earth Realm martial art to the 10th realm. This speed was definitely super fast. Thinking about what happened in the Hidden Dragon rank competition, Wu Liangyu could not help but yell out loud. Boom! A circle of black shockwaves spread out from Wu Liangyu's body, blowing away all the demonic beasts nearby, their bodies disintegrating in the air. Lone Peak Kill. Giving up on the wide-range attacking sword art, Yi Chen started to focus on preparing for the merging of the Lone Peak 13 swords. His body kept moving, and with every step he took, the Star Scar sword in his hand would throw out a sword attack. With each sword attack, another demonic beast would be killed. Even rank 6 beasts were no exception. Faster, faster. I need to be faster. Directly starting from the sword movement, the merging speed would be very slow. Yi Chen had to find another way, which was to perform the Lone Peak Kill at an absolute speed, and then learn that bit of extreme silence from that extreme speed. The Lone Peak Kill needed that bit of extreme silence, and only by learning the extreme silence would he be able to merge the Lone Peak Kill faster. Shoo! 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 In front of everyone's confusion, Yi Chen pushed his separating shadow flying art to its limit. The sword light kept flashing like a flying horse in the sky. Every time he threw out a sword attack, the angle was completely different, but it was still possible to see the similarities between each sword attack. One after another, the demonic beasts fell down. All of their wounds were fatal. This guy's sword art is so sharp, killing a demonic beast with one sword attack. Yeah, you are right. If he was aiming at me, I would not be able to dodge that sword attack. That sword attack was not that fast, but it still made my heart skip a beat. It is not that fast, but why do I feel that it is so fast? So fast that my eyes could not even see it. Yeah, it is indeed fast. Not fast. The demonic beasts in the front would not be that high in rank. Occasionally, the rank 6 beasts would be killed by the powerful warriors one by one. A lot of warriors did not feel that much pressure, so they focused on the young generation. There were also a lot of people who were paying attention to Yi Chen. But soon, they had different opinions. The reason was whether Yi Chen's sword was fast or not. Some said it was super fast, while some said it was not as fast as the others. Wait, I feel that his sword is getting faster. Me too. Weird, why do I feel like it is getting slower? Soon, the two sides had different opinions again. Yi Chen did not pay attention to the discussions around him. He was still doing what he wanted to do. Shoo! A rank 6 beast did not manage to react in time. A bloody hole appeared on its neck, and blood poured out. Indeed, it is starting to work. That sword attack of Yi Chen's was very casual, but its speed and power were surprisingly powerful. The rank 6 beast did not even have the time to react. However, I have reached a bottleneck in my comprehension of the extreme stillness. Now it is time to think in reverse and comprehend faster from the extreme stillness. Thoughts flashed through his mind from time to time, but Yi Chen had never felt this peaceful before. It was like he was just a passerby, watching himself perform his lone peak kill and listening to the voice in his head. His heart was calm and peaceful. Shoo! In most people's eyes, the sword in Yi Chen's hand had disappeared, and the eyes of the beast in front of him had lost the color of life. The beasts next to it had become very slow. The only thing that was not slow was Yi Chen's sword. His sword had already disappeared. If it were not for the slight pattern that appeared in the air when he threw out his sword, they would not even know if Yi Chen had thrown out his sword or not. But the most annoying thing was that a lot of people could see the trajectory of that sword, and the beast's speed seemed to be even faster. It seemed like those beasts had rushed to the tip of the sword themselves. So weird. Did you notice? There were a lot of clasping Yuan realm warriors in the gold tripod city. Among them, there were many peak-level late clasping Yuan realm warriors. Their power was even more powerful than most of the young warriors in the hidden dragon rank. Some of them could even kill the tyrant rank 6 beasts like the wind wolf and the black bear. Dozens of meters away, there were 2 warriors like that who had noticed Yi Chen. The one on the left had casually killed a rank 6 beast, so he frowned slightly. His sword art is sometimes fast and sometimes slow. He must be learning something. Old buddy, you are wrong this time. His sword art has always maintained the same speed. Only one sword attack would be unexpectedly fast. Let me see. After being mentioned by his partner, the one on the right was interested. Soon, he forced a smile and said, "Indeed. I have been fooled by the poetic perspective of his sword art. His sword will not change under most of the circumstances. I wonder what kind of poetic perspective it is. It makes people feel that it is sometimes fast and sometimes slow. It should be the poetic perspective of the mountains and rivers. The poetic perspective of the mountains and rivers." That person looked at him with surprise. The two of them had almost the same cultivation, both at the peak level late clasping Yuan realm. However, Yi Chen was able to kill the wind wolf, which had the bloodline of an ancient beast. He was way more powerful than him. With his eyes, he could indeed tell something. Therefore, he wanted to hear an explanation. The man shook his head. The mountains and rivers can be far and close. The sword art is sometimes fast and sometimes slow. Putting it all together, it is actually the mystery of space. When you stand close, the sword will of course arrive first. When you stand far away, the sword will arrive one step later. He uses the poetic perspective of the mountains and rivers to push his sword art. It will make people feel like the space is messed up, and they will lose their ability to judge. This is very scary. If a warrior's space sense is messed up for a short period of time, what do you think will happen? The one on the right let out a breath. Then, of course, they will die. Indeed. Not to mention anything else, if this guy continues to grow, his sword art will reach an extremely horrifying level. It will be way beyond our imagination. Is it really that mysterious? You can't see it with just one look. I am ashamed. I was lucky enough to talk to a sword artist who had mastered the completed sword intent. He said that holding a sword in one's hand will extend a certain distance compared to a bare-handed person. This distance is space. Therefore, sword artists especially need to train their space sense. If they don't make progress in the space sense, their sword intent will be like a beast locked in a cage. They will be trapped inside for the rest of their lives. A sword artist who has mastered the completed sword intent. TSK, this group of people are so abnormal and rare. Although there are 3,000 great Daos, each of them has a different direction of development. The sword art is undoubtedly the main killing art. One sword can kill one person, and 10 sword can kill 10 people. It is truly a killing weapon. A sword artist who has mastered the sword intent is a real sword artist. Only they can push their sword art to a higher level, and they are qualified to learn the profound meaning of the sword art. Yi Chen did not hear what the two were talking about. If he did, he would be very surprised. He had only realized the importance of the space sense after he had mastered the Lone Peak 13 sword. He did not expect that there would already be a sword artist who knew about it, and it was even more detailed than him. Actually, Yi Chen did not know how powerful he was. Normally, a real sword artist would only realize the importance of the space sense after they had mastered the completed sword intent, or even the completed sword intent. Right now, his sword intent was only at 40%, and he had already mastered the space sense. If that sword artist who had mastered the completed sword intent knew about it, he would be even more surprised. As for people who did not use swords, they would not know much about it. There is a slow poetic perspective in fast, and a fast poetic perspective in slow. Right now, I have almost achieved it. All I need is to make a breakthrough and combine the two. Without realizing it, Yi Chen had combined the 10th movement of the Lone Peak 13 swords. The power of his Lone Peak kill had increased to another level, and he had a deeper understanding of the fast poetic perspective, which was the poetic perspective of mountains and rivers. Unfortunately, the space did not change. What changed was people. If he ran into a powerful warrior, it would be hard to confuse him. If he ran into a sword artist with the same sword intent, the effect would not be as good. Faster, faster, faster. Slow, slower, slower. Yi Chen, who had lost all his thoughts, kept performing the same sword attack, hoping that he could find something from it and find the opportunity to make a breakthrough. The beasts that were attacking Yi Chen were very frustrated. If he had used absolute power to kill them, they would not have been happy. But right now, he did not give them any chance at all. With a random sword attack, they all died without knowing why. In their dim pupils, they could see the figures of their companions. Just like them, they all fell down one by one. All of their wounds were fatal. The battle had been going on from noon to night. Millions of beasts had died, and a lot of warriors had died as well. The ground was covered with minced meat and broken weapons. The blood had formed a river and dyed the ground outside of the gold tripod city red. It was a horrifying scene. Yi Chen, who did not know fatigue, was so light. Wherever his sword light reached, there would be death. It was easy to see that his sword art had improved again. It gave people a feeling of calmness. Right then, Guolan finally found Yi Chen. Chapter 208. His ace attacks have become even more powerful. How come they are so fast? With only one glance, Guolan had been attracted by Yi Chen's sword art. That back and forth, that seemingly casual sword attack seemed to be able to swallow all the eyes and attack the beasts from an unbelievable angle. Manager Guo, do you know him? The 6th knight licked his lips, looking at Yi Chen with interest. Guolan nodded. We have only known each other for half a month. Speaking of which, I was thinking of inviting him to join the Moon Pavilion. Unfortunately, I was rejected. Rejected to join the Moon Pavilion? What? Are you looking down on the Moon Pavilion and the 7 Knights? The 6th Knight had a cold temperament, but he was very proud of the 7 Knights' name. Hearing her, his eyes squeezed into a line. A cold light shot out from the gap. His body flashed, turning into a blurry shadow as he jumped towards Yi Chen. Don't be impulsive. Guolan was a bit helpless. Besides the cold temperament, the 6th Knight was fine. But he was way too impulsive. The 4th Knight said lightly, "Let him go. I also want to see how powerful that person's sword art is." That's the only way. Guolan forced a smile, but she was also a little bit excited. One was the 6th Knight, who was ranked 6th in the 7 Knights, and the other was a young warrior that she thought highly of. The battle between the two would definitely be interesting. Yi Chun, bring out all of your power. The sixth knight's speed was very fast and tricky. He was like a huge snake with explosive power, swimming in between the gaps of the beast wave. The second he went through, a row of beasts' bodies shot out blood pillars. These blood pillars intersected with each other, creating a bloody path for the sixth knight. Brat, you are very arrogant. Do you know that? From afar, the sixth knight's cold voice came into Yi Chen's ears. Yi Chen turned his head. What do you mean? The star-scar sword in his hand did not stop because he was distracted. Instead, it became sharper and more unpredictable. Take one of my attacks first. 100 snake attack. Stretching out both of his arms, huge Jinqi snakes that were as thick as a human's thighs came out of the sixth knight's palms, shooting towards Yi Chen at an extremely fast speed. Wherever the huge snakes went, the air was like water, creating waves of ripples. It was because the snakes were moving so fast that the air had been squeezed together. Ding 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 ding. After learning the poetic perspective, the Zhen-Qi snake's speed was not that fast for Yi Chen. He waved his star-scar sword, blocking out all of the snake's attacks. You have 2 moves, 100 snake explosion. The sixth knight sneered. His hands seemed to be grabbing something, and he clasped them together fiercely. Immediately, the Zhenqi serpents that had been severed by Yi Chen shot out with Yi Chen as the center. After that, they exploded one after another. No fire could be seen, only the shattered air and the potholes on the ground showed how powerful the explosion was. If you want to fight, I'll fight with you. Yi Chen's figure appeared from behind sixth knight. What? The sixth knight was shocked. He had clearly seen Yi Chen being surrounded by the Zhenqi serpent just now. When did he escape? Why didn't he feel anything at all? Clenching his teeth, the sixth knight, at that critical moment, performed his ultimate counterattack, 100 Snake Halo. Countless snake-shaped Zhen-Qi drilled out from the surface of his body, densely packed, and instantly combined into a powerful halo, spreading out in all directions. Yi Chen did not back out even one step. He held his sword with both of his hands and sliced out. A cloth-tearing sound was heard. That incoming halo was easily sliced open by that unbreakable sword light, while Yi Chen was naturally unharmed. The sixth knight, who had turned around, opened his eyes wide. There was an unconcealable shock in his cold pupils. His 100-snake halo had been sliced open just like that. How could he not be shocked? All right, I will use you to test out the power of my lone peak kill. Yi Chen could tell that the sixth knight was very powerful, and could compete with the older late clasping Yuan realm warriors. However, right now, he was even more powerful than before, and did not care about opponents at this level anymore. It would be perfect for him to test out his martial arts. The star-scar sword shook, and Yi Chen threw out a simple sword attack towards the sixth knight. So fast. That was the sixth knight's first impression. In his eyes, there was nothing, only that slight air pattern vibrating. His subconscious was telling him that the attack was coming, and he had to try his best to block it out. However, his body did not listen to him, and he could only watch that sword attack coming towards him. Yi Chen, please show some mercy. Seeing that, Guolanjue hurried to stop him. Shoo! A strand of black hair hanging on his shoulder was cut off. Yi Chen's sword had somehow appeared on the sixth knight's neck, maintaining a 0 distance. Right then, the sixth knight had finally returned to normal. He did not dare to move an inch, since the star-scar sword was extremely sharp. If he moved even a little bit, that sharp sword chi would definitely wound him. Moving the star-scar sword away, Yi Chen looked at Guolanjue. What happened? Guolanjue looked embarrassed. It was a misunderstanding. It was all a misunderstanding. Thank you for holding back. I hope there will be fewer misunderstandings. I will not hold back every time I attack. If it were not for Guolanjue stopping him, that sword attack would have definitely hit the sixth knight. Of course, he would not kill the sixth knight, since it was a big battle with the beasts, and it would not be appropriate. There were more and more beasts, and their ranks were getting higher as well. Yi Chen jumped into the beast wave again, performing his lone peak kill again and again. Guolandwe took back her sight and said to the sixth knight, "You were too impulsive." Luckily, Yi Chen is not a bloodthirsty person. Otherwise, how would I explain to the management of the Moon Pavilion? Actually, she was the most shocked one. She had not expected that Yi Chen's sword arts would reach this level in such a short time. Even the sixth knight was not his opponent. No, he was not even qualified to be his opponent. If she could not recruit this scary young man into the Moon Pavilion, it would definitely be her biggest regret. The sixth knight let out a heavy breath. Such a horrifying sword art. Facing his sword art, I am like a kid, a joke. The fourth knight said seriously, "That is a killing sword. If you could not block that sword attack, you would have been killed. You are very lucky." Indeed. The sixth knight was still scared. "Alright, now is not the time to chat. Let's kill as many beasts as we can. Do not let them get into the gold tripod city," Guolandwe said. The beast wave was different from the normal beast. In the beginning, it was just the low-rank beasts, which could be called cannon fodder. But in the middle and late stages, the beasts' ranks would be getting higher and higher. It was almost impossible to see any beasts below rank 3. Countless beasts would form into a beast wave, attacking the warriors of the gold tripod city again and again. Kill. Although this beast wave is dangerous, it is also a chance to make some money. If we gather all the materials from the beasts below rank 3, it would be an unimaginable fortune. The beasts above rank 3 would have their pellets, which would be even more valuable. By then, all the materials and pellets would be ours. If it were not for this fortune, I would not have come to the gold tripod city. It is too dangerous after all. If we are not careful, we might die. 20 million demonic beasts. This is not a martial arts competition. There was an unwritten rule in the true spirit continent, which was that, after the beast wave, all the materials and pellets would belong to the warriors who participated in the battle. No matter how powerful the others were, they would not have the right to interfere. Otherwise, they would be attacked by all the warriors in the world, which would not be good for their reputation. Although the rank 1 beast's materials were not that valuable, millions of them would be enough to make someone rich. Not to mention the rank 2 beasts, rank 3 beasts, and even rank 4 beasts. Of course, all this wealth would not be given to one person. It would belong to all the warriors who participated in the battle. But it would still be quite a lot. A lot of people would not be able to make that much money in 10 years. Shoo! 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 Beams of light shot out everywhere. There were astral-reaching realm warriors coming back from time to time. The horned dragon snake is indeed a powerful beast with the ancient beast bloodline. Even though it is wounded, it is still very powerful. On the way back, an astral-reaching realm warrior said emotionally. The astral-reaching realm warrior next to him said, during the beast wave, the beast's behavior would become more and more crazy. If it wants to run away, we would not be able to stop it. Alright, how are your wounds? Not bad. The main thing is that I had burned my Zhen Yuan and hurt my meridians. I will be able to recover after half a month. Let's go check out the gold tripod city. The astral-reaching realm warriors were extremely fast. Soon, they arrived in the sky outside the city. Yeah, everything is under control. Let's go to the city wall and watch the battle. Unless it is the last resort, we will not interfere if we can. Seeing the astral-reaching realm warriors appearing on top of the city wall and not helping out, the warriors down below did not complain at all. They knew very well that if the astral-reaching realm warriors used all of their power, the small beast wave would be destroyed soon, and they would not be able to do anything. However, the astral-reaching realm warriors were all proud. Before the gold tripod city was about to be destroyed, they would definitely not help out. The Black Crow Man and the Fire Spirit had also arrived. The fire spirit scanned around and soon found Wu Liangyu. He laughed. Your disciple is too reckless. He had found a top-rank 6 beast to fight with. The Black Crow Man followed his gaze and said helplessly, Liangyu has always been so powerful. Alright, let me see how powerful he is. Wu Liangyu's opponent was a top-rank 6 beast, the Black Wind Snake. It was hundreds of meters long and looked like a small hill when it was coiled up. Its tongue was like a flying sword, making a hissing sound. Its power was no weaker than the Iron Scale Beast. It might even be slightly more powerful. However, under Wu Liangyu's attack, it was soon covered with wounds. Its tail had also been cut off, and its blood had dyed the ground red. Die! Wu Liangyu's body flashed once, brushing past the Black Wind Snake's neck. Shoo! The Black Wind Snake's huge head fell down. Its thick and long body struggled for a while, but eventually stopped moving. The top-rank 6 beast, the Black Wind Snake, was killed by Wu Liangyu? How is this possible? Some of the warriors yelled out. That was a top-rank 6 beast. Although it did not have the ancient beast bloodline, it was still powerful enough to be compared to a peak-level late clasping Yuan realm warrior. Does this mean that Wu Liangyu has the power to kill a peak-level late clasping Yuan realm warrior? This year's hidden dragon rank, Wu Liangyu will definitely be able to shine. On the wall, the Black Crow Man smiled. Not bad, he had improved. He was able to kill the Black Wind Snake by himself. Even that little girl, Morong Qingqing, could not do it. The fire spirit, my disciple. Turning around, the Black Crow Man was about to talk to the fire spirit, but he realized that the latter was looking somewhere else. Out of curiosity, the Black Crow Man also looked in that direction. In his sight, there was a teenager in blue walking in the beast wave. As he waved his sword, one after another, the beasts fell down one after another. Chapter 209. The Black Crow Man was shocked. Yi Chen's sword art was very simple, and it was only that one movement. But to be able to bring out such a powerful sword movement was definitely rare. Which martial institution is he from? How come I have never seen him before? All of a sudden, the Black Crow Man was confused. Black Crow, you have noticed it too. The fire spirit saw the expression on the Black Crow Man's face, so he chuckled. The Black Crow Man nodded. The fire spirit sighed. Right now, the young generation is indeed at its peak. Top martial geniuses are showing up one after another. I wonder who will be able to beat the rest of the generation and walk on the path of a king. Right now, it is still hard to tell. Once they all reach the astral reaching realm, it will be clear who is more powerful. The Black Crow Man said. Yeah, you are right. The astral reaching realm is a challenge. More than 90% of the young generation will be eliminated. Whoa! Yi Chen's massacre had finally attracted a top-rank 6 demonic beast. It was none other than the Wind Wolf, which had the bloodline of an ancient demonic beast. It was the tyrant of the rank 6 demonic beast. Its whole body was surrounded by a heavy beast chi, which was gray in color. Only a slight bit of beast chi had spread out, and it had already frozen a lot of low-level warriors' bodies. Their blood froze as they were stomped on by countless demonic beasts. Right now, it is still a bit difficult for me to fight against it. The beasts with the ancient bloodline had an extremely powerful defense. Back in the Heaven Dream ancient place, Yi Chen had already seen it. Back then, the beasts were only at rank 3 or 4, and none of them had reached the top rank 6 level. The Wind Wolf had a huge body. Its 4 claws stood on the ground, and it opened its mouth and spat out a cloud of beast chi towards Yi Chen. Separate. Flashing his body, Yi Chen's real body walked out from the shadow. Crack. The Zhen Qi shadow was like a frozen block of ice. It started to crack inch by inch, as if it was a solid entity. Seeing this scene, Yi Chen was shocked. Let me help you. Out of nowhere, Guolangyue, the 4th knight, and the 6th knight appeared nearby. It was the 4th knight who had spoken. Yi Chen dodged the attacks of the wind wolves one after another and said, You can come, but Guolanwe and him should not come. With his powerful soul power, Yi Qin could tell that the fourth knight was a top-tier young warrior. Even if he was weaker than him, it would not be by much. As for Guolanwe and the sixth knight, they would just be sending themselves to their death. With the addition of fourth knight to the battle, Yi Qin felt much more relaxed, and could even counterattack occasionally. Qi. The sword Qi cut open the Wind Wolf's protective demonic aura and left a shallow sword mark on its skin. Compared to the huge body of the Wind Wolf, the sword mark was almost negligible. Yi Qin frowned. Although he knew that the Wind Wolf's defense was very high, he didn't expect it to be this high. This battle was going to be very difficult. Earth Dragon Strike. The fourth knight pressed both of his hands on the ground, and an earth dragon made of mud rose up into the sky and crashed towards the lunar Wind Wolf. The earth dragon dispersed, while the Wind Wolf remained unscathed. Howl. Possessing the bloodline of the ancient demonic beast, the Wind Wolf was very proud. Those barely visible wounds on its skin had angered it. It raised up its right claw and slammed down heavily. The ground was shaking. With the Wind Wolf's right claw as the starting point, spiderweb-like cracks started to spread out, covering both Yi Qin and the fourth knight. The next second, the demonic qi that froze their lungs rushed out from the ground, rampaging everywhere. Danger! Yi Qin was most afraid of the Wind Wolf's demonic qi without a doubt. That demonic qi contained horrifying yin qi, which could easily freeze a warrior's blood and muscles. Once hit by it, unless someone came to save him, he would be killed instantly by the Wind Wolf's next attack. His body exploded, and Yi Qin turned into dozens of shadows and spread out. His real body was the fastest. Crack, 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 crack. Without even looking, Yi Qin could tell that most of his Zhen Qi shadows had been frozen by the demonic qi. With just a slight touch, they would be shattered into pieces. Looking at where the fourth knight was, Yi Qin let out a breath. Facing the demonic qi explosion, the fourth knight did not choose to run away. Instead, she punched on the ground and created a huge mud ball, covering her up. That mud ball contained a huge amount of Zhen Qi and had an amazing defense. However, it was also frozen at the moment, with a cold gray light on its surface. The mud ball exploded, and the fourth knight jumped out from it. Her face was slightly pale. Around them, a lot of warriors were attracted by this battle. Wow, 2 young warriors fighting against the Wind Wolf. How brave! What's the use of having courage? If this continues, they will die for sure. Yeah. The biggest difference between the Wind Wolf and normal top rank 6 demonic beasts is that it has the bloodline of the ancient demonic beast. Its body's defense is insane. Without enough attacking power, no one would be able to win against it. Shoo! Right then, a pitch-black cutting wave landed on the Wind Wolf's body. The Wind Wolf's body slightly tilted, and a long and narrow mark appeared on its body. It was very shallow, and it did not even break through the skin. It is Wu Liangyu. He is here as well. The gathering of the top 3 young warriors had attracted even more attention. Flapping his wings, Wu Liangyu floated in the air, his eyebrows slightly frowning. He had been wanting to see a top-rank 6 beast with the ancient demonic beast bloodline for a long time. Unfortunately, this kind of beast was very hard to come by. This small beast wave had gathered 20 million beasts, but only dozens of them had the ancient demonic beast bloodline. 80% of them were low-rank beasts, and there were only 2 or 3 top-rank 6 beasts. One of them had already been killed by someone. This Wind Wolf might be the last top-rank 6 beast with the ancient demonic beast bloodline around the gold tripod city. However, what surprised him was that his full power attack could not even break through the defense of the Wind Wolf. The Wind Wolf temporarily gave up on chasing Yi Qin and the fourth knight. It turned its head and spat out a pile of evil qi, which was spinning intensely at Wu Liangyu. Shoo! Flapping his pitch-black wings, Wu Liangyu instantly escaped from the attack range. Death Tornado! The first thing that Wu Liangyu did after stopping was to attack. The pitch-black cutting waves stacked on top of each other, forming into something like a tornado, covering the Wind Wolf and attacking it again and again. The tornado disappeared, and the Wind Wolf's protective Zhen-Qi layer had been destroyed. Countless hairs on the surface of its body had been broken. However, if one looked closely, they would be able to see that besides some small wounds on the Wind Wolf's body, there was no blood at all. It meant that Wu Liangyu's attack was not enough to break through its defense. On the other side, the fourth knight and Yi Chen attacked again. 3 times Earth Dragon attack. The fourth knight pressed both of his hands hard onto the ground. Because he had used too much power, both of his hands had sunk into the ground. The next second, 3 Earth Dragons appeared out of the ground, attacking onto the Wind Wolf's neck one after another. At first glance, one would think that they had attacked at the same time. Without any time to react, the Wind Wolf lost its balance, its 4 claws sliding on the ground. Lone Peak Kill. Yi Chen's body kept appearing and disappearing. When he reappeared, he was already at the side of the Wind Wolf's face. The Star Scar sword brought up an extremely sharp sword light, stabbing towards its eyes. If it were any other opponent, this sword attack would not be surprising at all. However, the Wind Wolf was able to close its eyes in that second. Shoo! The sword light pierced through the Wind Wolf's eyelid, but no one knew if it had hurt the eyeball or not. The Wind Wolf was furious. Its right claw tore through the air, landing on Yi Chen's body at a speed that was a few times faster than the speed of sound. Boom! The Zhen-Qi shadow was shattered, and Yi Chen's real body puked out a mouthful of blood at the same time. What a fast speed! The real body did not even have the time to escape. The good thing was that the Wind Wolf did not use too much of its beast qi in that moment of desperation. Otherwise, it would not be as simple as puking out a mouthful of blood. Opening its eyelids, the Wind Wolf's pupils had a light bloody hole. It is wounded, but it is not deep enough to affect its attacking power. Yi Chen looked regretful. Around them, waves of beasts had been killed. Old Zhao, among all the clasping Yuan realm warriors in the Gold Tripod City, only you alone could kill a top-rank 6 beast with ancient beast bloodline. Why don't you go take care of the Wind Wolf? No hurry. They are all top warriors of the young generation. Going up there would only annoy them. These 2 were indeed the ones who had discussed Yi Chen's sword art before. One of them was an elder who seemed to be in his 60s or 70s, and he was extremely powerful. With one casual attack, rows of beasts had fallen down. Even top-rank 6 beasts could not take one attack from him. I have never thought about that. The elder laughed. Although I can kill the Wind Wolf, I might not be able to win against the 3 of them together. After all, my defense is not as good as the Wind Wolf. It is only my attack that is powerful. In order to kill the Wind Wolf, one's attacking power would have to be powerful enough. For example, the elder could kill the Wind Wolf, but if he had to face the 3 top warriors at the same time, he might be killed. And because the 3 top warriors' attacking power was not powerful enough, they would not be able to do anything to the Wind Wolf. In the end, it was all about attacking and defending. Awo! After being attacked one after another, the Wind Wolf had completely lost its mind. The beast qi on the surface of its body started to increase, shooting up into the sky. All the warriors who were standing close to it could only feel their bodies getting cold and numb. The more powerful warriors hurried to strengthen their Zhen-Qi layer and backed out. So powerful! The great mysterious protective Zhen-Qi layer let out a cracking sound. Yi Chen could not stop his body from moving, and was forced to take 3 steps back. Each step left a deep footprint on the ground. The 4th knight and Wu Liangyu were also having a hard time. The Wind Wolf's beast qi contained a horrifying evil qi, which had weakened their Zhen-Qi layer by 30%. The remaining 70% was only enough to protect them from being hurt, but not their bodies. Shoo! The Wind Wolf hated Yi Chen the most, so it was chasing after him first. Explode! His body exploded, and Yi Chen's real body escaped from the attack range. Waving its claws, it shattered all of the Zhen Qi shadows. The wind wolf turned its body around and jumped at Yi Chen again. "How dare you ignore me?" Seeing that the wind wolf was only chasing after Yi Chen, Wu Liangyu was very angry. He pushed his black crow great art to its limit, and 2 curved blades appeared in his hands. Death Tornado. If the wings counted as 2 blades, then Wu Liangyu had 4 blades right now. With 4 blades, he performed the Death Tornado at the same time, turning it into a Death Tornado. The cutting waves had been piled up crazily, forming a pitch-black tornado. It landed on the wind wolf's body within a second, brutally attacking. The lunar wind wolf was continuously pushed back by the waves of attack. The huge pressure caused the ground to completely collapse and explode. It was a complete mess. However, its eyes quickly turned red, and its originally gloomy demonic aura was replaced by a faint bloody aura. It immediately blocked the attacks. Chapter 210. The wind wolf is going to use its bloodline power. The elder called Old Zhao said with a serious tone. The man next to him said, "I have heard about the bloodline power, but I have never seen it before. The ancient beast bloodline is indeed very powerful. However, the wind wolf does not have much bloodline power. It can only use it once or twice at most." Whoa! The tornado disappeared, and all of the blood qi on the wind wolf's body gathered at its throat. It stepped on the ground with its 4 claws and stretched its body, letting out a destructive roar towards the sky. The roar turned into a sound wave ball, expanding with the wind wolf as the center. That speed was so fast that it could not even be described as lightning. All of a sudden, time seemed to have slowed down. Everyone's expression froze on their faces. Some of them were still in the position of killing the beasts, their blood splashing everywhere in the air. Among the crowd, only Yi Chen was shocked. The roar of the wind wolf could affect a warrior's sense of time. He, who had learned the poetic perspective of mountains and rivers, saw something different from the others. The mountain was still the mountain, and the water was still the water. The speed of the blood splashing was not slow at all, and it had already landed on the ground. Boom! His body exploded, and Yi Chen turned into countless shadows, shooting out towards the outside. The next second, the sound wave ball expanded to hundreds of meters wide, then turned into a tornado. Within the attack range, no matter if it was a warrior or a beast, all of them started to bleed and their bodies were blown away. The next second, an even more horrifying scene happened. More than half of the warriors and beasts were blown into pieces, turning into blood mist. Although Yi Chen's speed was fast, he was still not as fast as the sound wave ball expanding. He had only been grazed by it, and his ears started to bleed immediately. His heart was beating like a drum, as if it was going to jump out of his chest and explode. With a leap, Yi Chen had escaped from the most dangerous area. Turning his head, Yi Chen saw dozens of human figures shooting out in all directions, including Wu Liangyu and the 4th Knight. As for the others, their bodies had already been shattered by the sound wave, leaving no bones behind. What? Landing heavily on the ground, Wu Liangyu and the 4th Knight looked like ghosts. Blood could not stop flowing out of their eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. They had just lifted up their upper bodies when they puked out a huge mouthful of blood. On the city wall, the fire spirit said strangely, "Black Crow, this attack is not simple. You could have stopped it." The Black Crow Taoist shook his head. "It's better to let him suffer some setbacks. He won't die anyway." "Hee, that's really your style. But I seem to have some impression of that blue-clothed young man. A couple of months ago, I boarded the ocean beast of the South Chamber of Commerce on the Wild Goose Falling River. He was on that ship." The Black Crow man did not pay too much attention to his disciple Wu Liangyu. His eyes landed on Yi Chen, who was the only one who was not injured. The fire spirit said, "In a one-on-one fight, he might not be able to beat your disciple. But when it comes to survival skills, your disciple will never be able to catch up with him." "Yeah, that is exactly what Wu Liangyu lacks. A real powerful warrior cannot be achieved with just training. He has to go through all kinds of hardships to get a heart of gold. The Wind Wolf's roar had killed hundreds of warriors and hundreds of beasts. Its power was definitely horrifying. Even old Zhao, who was far away, would have to step back when facing the full power roar of the Wind Wolf, not daring to face it directly. However, being too powerful did not come without a price. The light in the Wind Wolf's eyes had dimmed a lot. Obviously, using its bloodline power by force had taken a huge toll on it. Now is the best chance to kill it. Old Zhao was very experienced, so he mumbled to himself. Right at that moment, someone attacked. That burning fire wave attacked him. Meng Qiao laughed out loud. This Wind Wolf, let me take care of it. Red burning godly palm. A red flame appeared on the Zhen Qi giant palm as it landed heavily on the Wind Wolf's body. Boom! The Wind Wolf's 4 limbs were bent and sunk into the ground, bringing up dust everywhere. Die now! Meng Qiao knew that this was his chance to become famous. He pushed his red burning godly art to its limit, and a sun-like fire exploded around his body. In that fire, both of his hands looked like they were filled with lead. Each palm was heavier than the previous one, continuously landing on the Wind Wolf's body. The red fire waves spread out everywhere, burning the ground into crystals. The Wind Wolf kept roaring and struggling, trying to get up. But Meng Qiao did not give it a chance to breathe at all, suppressing it with all his might. On the side, Yi Chen did not do anything. With his soul power, he could sense that the Wind Wolf's blood qi had not completely disappeared. Instead, it had been scattered into all of its limbs and merged into its body. Right now, after being suppressed by Meng Qiao, that blood qi was showing signs of gathering together. Haha, die. Although it was a bit unfair, Meng Qiao was indeed in a good mood right now. The Wind Wolf that had beaten Wu Liangyu to the point where he could not even fight back was now in his hands. No matter what, it was still an honor that could not be taken away. Yi Chen frowned. That blood qi had gathered together and was all concentrated on the Wind Wolf's right claw. Because the right claw had sunk into the ground, no one had noticed it except for him. Crack! The ground was torn open, and a blood-red claw light shot out of the ground, grabbing onto Meng Qiao's protective Zhen Qi layer. Under the invasion of the bloodline power, Meng Qiao's protective Zhen Qi was extremely weak and was easily torn into pieces. With a loud clang, Meng Qiao opened his mouth and spat out a large amount of blood and small pieces of flesh. His whole body was blown away in shock and crashed into the beast tide, killing a few beasts along the way. Meng Qiao. On the city wall, the great master of the alchemist martial school flashed his body and traveled thousands of meters to save Meng Qiao from the beast wave. Even Meng Qiao had fainted. I can only say that the Wind Wolf is too cunning. He did not expect that he would still have some tricks up his sleeve. Only one warrior from the young generation is still standing. How unexpected! In everyone's mind, among the young generation that had come to the Gold Tripod City, Wu Liangyu, the fourth knight, Meng Qiao, and Yi Chen were the most powerful. Right now, Wu Liangyu and the fourth knight were badly wounded and had lost most of their battling power. Meng Qiao had fainted and had been taken away by the great master of the alchemist martial school. Right now, only Yi Chen in blue was not wounded at all. The blood qi has disappeared completely. Attack! The second he decided to attack, Yi Chen cleared his mind. All of the sounds in the world had been pushed out, and he had entered an empty realm that was very hard to enter. Without any desire, Yi Chen pushed his separating shadow flying art to its limit. In the first half of the journey, one could still see a light shadow, but in the second half, he had completely disappeared from everyone's sight. Only that light pattern in the air proved that he was still there. Lone Peak Kill. When he was only 3 meters away from the Wind Wolf, Yi Chen took out his Star Scar sword, stabbing it right into its throat. The Wind Wolf could only watch it happen. It had been badly wounded, so it could not dodge it at all. Its mind had been slowed down a lot. When it realized what was happening, The tip of the sword had already pierced into its skin. The second the sword pierced in, Yi Chen shook his wrist. The 11th movement of the Lone Peak 13 swords had been infused into his sword movement. Kill. It was easy to stab in. The Wind Wolf's body defense was indeed powerful, but the inside of its body was undoubtedly the weakest point. Even if it had the bloodline of an ancient beast, it would still be impossible to train its internal organs and muscles to the same level as its body surface defense. It was already going against all logic. As the sword pierced in, the sword chi that contained the sword intent exploded violently, crazily cutting the inside of the Wind Wolf's throat. If one could see through it, one could see that the inside of the Wind Wolf's throat had already been badly mutilated. There was no throat tissue left, only tiny pieces of flesh that had been cut by the sword chi. Pooh! Pulling out the Star Scar sword, Yi Chen's body exploded, turning into dozens of shadows and spreading out. Just as he had expected, the Wind Wolf had used its most powerful attack before it died. One claw had completely blown up the ground within 100 meters radius. The powerful claw power had penetrated deep into the ground. The muffled rumbling sound did not stop for even a second, and was getting further and further away. After using its most powerful attack, the Wind Wolf's life force seemed to have been sucked out along with it. The wound on its neck could not be controlled anymore. Blood poured out like a fountain, reaching dozens of meters long. Its huge body started to soften, lying on the ground, not moving at all. A few hundred meters away, Yi Chen was breathing heavily. So tired. That sword attack seemed to have merged with the one sword kill. I wonder how he did it. With only the Lone Peak kill combined with the 11th movement of the Lone Peak 13 swords, the most he could do was wound the Wind Wolf, but he would never be able to kill it with one sword attack. After all, a starving camel was still bigger than a horse. Even without the strange blood chi and part of Yuan chi, the Wind Wolf was still one of the tyrants of the rank 6 beasts. It would not be easy to kill it. From the way Meng Chao was beating the Wind Wolf, it could be seen that a beast of this level would not be killed with 2 or 3 attacks. At that moment, Yi Chen, who had fallen into the empty realm, had instinctively performed the one-sword kill. Then, somehow, it had merged with the Lone Peak kill and stabbed into it with his mind. It was the second when he had merged with the one-sword kill that he had been able to merge with the 11th movement of the Lone Peak 13 sword. However, it would be impossible for Yi Chen to do it again. Right now, his mind was a mess, and he did not know the details at all. If I could train that sword attack, even if I might not be invincible under the astral reaching realm, I would at least be one of the top warriors. Unfortunately, I do not have enough experience. It was luck that I was able to perform it once. If I want to perform it again, I would have to rely on my confidence. Yi Chen shook his head and stopped thinking about it. He killed the Wind Wolf with one sword attack. I thought it would be a tough battle. Some warriors mumbled to themselves. His attacking power had increased drastically. It seems like he had made a huge breakthrough in that one day and one night of battling. I am so jealous. How come I did not make a breakthrough? If even you could make a breakthrough, then it would be so worthless. Only 1 out of 10,000 people could make a breakthrough in an endless battle. It would be one of the rare battling martial geniuses. After the Wind Wolf had died, everyone started to talk about it. Without a doubt, the center of the discussion was Yi Chen, who had descended like a star. Although no one knew his name, they all thought that he had the power to be in the top 20 of the Hidden Dragon rank, and was qualified to compete with the top martial geniuses in the South Rudra region. The power of that sword attack had already surpassed mine. Zhao's eyes were bright as he looked at Yi Chen. His friend said, "Is he that powerful? Killing a rank 6 tyrant beast with one attack. As far as I know, there are no more than 10 clasping Yuan realm warriors in the South Rudra region who could do that. Of course, he is not even in the top 10, because those 10 people were all facing a rank 6 tyrant beast at its peak, not the Wind Wolf that had lost its bloodline power and a part of its Yuan Qi. But it is already horrifying. He is only at the mid-clasping yuan realm. If he could reach the late-clasping yuan realm, or even the peak-level late-clasping yuan realm, I wonder how horrifying he would be. Zhao explained. Chapter 2:11. The night passed, and the morning arrived. The first beam of sunlight poured down from the dark clouds formed by the beast chi, bringing a ray of light to the battlefield. Buddy, we should go rest. You and I both know about the consequence of taking too many pellets. You are right. The Zhen Qi quality is dropping. Let's go back to the gold tripod city and rest for a bit. Warriors were not like beasts. Without the advantage of Zhen Qi, their attacking power would drop drastically. But even without the beast Qi, the beasts still had their powerful bodies. Therefore, when the warriors reached their limit, they would immediately go back to the gold tripod city to train their Zhen Qi, trying to recover their attacking power. The rest of the warriors who could still fight would continue to fight and wait for their turn. Because of this, the warriors in the gold tripod city were at a disadvantage, and the number of casualties had increased drastically. It is time for us to attack. The fire spirit stood up. The Black Crow Man performed his Black Crow great art, and a pair of pitch-black wings grew out of his back. He nodded and said, "The beast's endurance is way beyond human warriors. If we do not attack now, the rest of the warriors will not be able to survive. But we cannot kill them all." After communicating with each other, all of the astral-reaching realm warriors started to attack. Death Tornado. It was exactly the same movement as Wu Liangyu, but it was performed by the Black Crow Man. However, it was 10 times more powerful. With one attack, at least thousands of beasts had been torn apart, and a huge area had been flattened. It was as easy as eating and drinking. Flowing Fire Blade. The fire spirit's power was not any weaker than the Black Crow Man's. While he was walking, countless flame-like giant light blades were shot out, killing the beasts as if they were grass. That kind of casual and elegant artistic conception had shocked all the warriors who were still fighting on the battlefield. This is the power of an astral-reaching realm warrior? There is no way to fight back. No wonder Thunder Freer said that even if I trained my sword intent to completion and am at peak level late clasping Yuan realm, I would only be able to run away, and would not be able to fight back. After one day and one night, Yi Chen had not gone back to the city to rest at all. He had been fighting until now. For him, this kind of opportunity was hard to come by. If he did not try, he would definitely regret it. Seeing the astral-reaching realm warriors attacking, he did not know where the energy came from. His mental state had recovered to its peak, and there was even a sign of a breakthrough. Haha, why are you saving your Zhen Yuan? Just use a few big moves and it'll be over. In the sky, an astral-reaching realm warrior flew to an extremely high place. He slowly raised both of his hands, as if he was holding something. All of a sudden, a thunder ball shining with silver lightning appeared between his two hands. The thunder ball expanded in the wind, and within a breath's time, it had expanded to dozens of meters in size. At first glance, one would think that he was holding a silver sun shining with lightning. Thunder explosion! He roared and swung the huge ball of lightning down. Rumble! It was as if the end of the world had arrived. Miles in the distance turned into a world of thunder and lightning. Right after that, an endless bright light blossomed, lighting up thousands of miles in radius. All the martial artists below the astral-reaching realm hurried to close their eyes. They suspected that if they looked directly at that sun-like light, they would go blind. When he opened his eyes again, the world of thunder and lightning had disappeared. The remaining electric currents in the air were still crackling and roaming, and the demonic beasts that were trapped in it could not even be seen. Even the ground tens of meters deep had turned into nothingness. So powerful! He is at least at the late astral-reaching realm, and he managed to kill tens of thousands of beasts with one attack. A lot of people were shocked. The Black Crow Man and the Fire Spirit looked at each other. Let's see who can kill more beasts with one attack. No burning of Zhen Yuan. I have trained the fire element Zhenqi. My attacking range is definitely above yours. Then let's compete. The horrifying battlefield was obviously a place for astral-reaching realm warriors to play games. They started to compete with each other, throwing out their ace attacks one after another. Every time they could kill thousands or even tens of thousands of beasts. With Yi Chen's current cultivation, he could only kill about 100 beasts with one attack. But of course, the attacking power could not be measured by the attacking range. For example, Yi Chen's biggest attacking range was the tornado, which could kill almost 100 beasts with one attack. However, the lone peak kill could only kill a couple of beasts or even one beast, but it was still not as powerful as the lone peak kill. On the contrary, the tornado was nowhere as powerful as the lone peak kill. The two could not be compared at all. Even so, facing an astral-reaching realm warrior with a cultivation of peak-level late clasping Yuan realm, it was not hard to imagine the disadvantage of facing an astral-reaching realm warrior. After all, the opponent would be able to cover a huge area with only one attack. How could one escape? Even if one managed to escape, one would be exhausted and unable to do anything. Reaching this level, Yi Chen had to think about how to deal with astral-reaching realm warriors. In less than 15 minutes, the number of beasts on the battlefield had been reduced by more than half. The remaining beasts were still a couple of times more than the warriors from the gold tripod city. Kill! Kill! Before, when the astral-reaching realm warriors were showing off their power, everyone had taken a break, including Yi Chen. Right now, the number of beasts had been reduced by more than half, which was definitely a good thing. Shoo! 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 Killing a beast with one sword attack was obviously not that many compared to the other clasping Yuan realm warriors. However, Yi Chen's sword attack frequency was unimaginably high. With each breath, his body would travel 200 to 300 meters among the beasts. In the process, he had thrown out 67 sword attacks and killed 67 beasts. The efficiency of killing beasts was almost as high as his wide-range sword attack, Tornado Broken Clouds. Standing on top of a massive beast's body, Yi Chen looked out. The outside of the gold tripod city had been dyed red. On the bloody ground, the number of beasts was less than 1 million, and the number of human warriors was around 400,000. Adding half of the warriors in the city, it would be 800,000. Out of the 2 million warriors, only 800,000 were left. The death toll had reached a shocking 1,200,000, which was definitely a terrifying number. Without reaching the clasping Yuan realm, it would be like dancing on the edge of a knife in this kind of large-scale battlefield. The good thing is that the gold tripod city is only this big, so the beasts would not be able to squeeze in all the way. If it were on the grassland without any obstacles, 20 million beasts could easily kill 2 million warriors. Waving his sword and killing a beast that jumped on him, Yi Chen continued to kill. All right, I have been suppressing it all this time. It is time for you to taste the real power of the lone peak kill. Shaking his wrist, Yi Chen stabbed his sword into the neck of the bull-type beast. Pooh! Dozens of beasts in a straight line had all been pierced through by the sword qi, which was as fast as lightning. Although this attack of mine is a close combat sword attack, it does not mean that it can only kill one target. With the help of the lone peak kill, the sword qi has a horrifying piercing power. Before, Yi Chen did not use it because he wanted to try it out. Plus, there were too many beasts, so it would be better to control the consumption of Zhen Qi. But now that the number of beasts had decreased drastically, Yi Chen did not have to worry so much anymore. He could just kill as much as he wanted. As the number of beasts decreased, the dark clouds formed by the beast qi in the sky had been dispersed. The golden sunlight shone down, brightening up the whole place. In the distance, in the mountain of corpses and the sea of blood, a lot of human-shaped blood mist suddenly screamed. As soon as the sunlight shone on them, they were burned into smoke. What is that? Including Yi Chen, a lot of people could not believe their eyes. On the city wall, the fire spirit forced a smile. Indeed, there will be blood demons in a big battle. The Black Crow Man said, "It is very hard to form a blood demon. It cannot be directly hit by the sunlight, and it needs to have enough blood and hatred. These blood demons are all low-rank blood demons, nothing to worry about." Just as the voice of the Black Crow Taoist priest faded away, cyan smoke rose from the lake-like blood water. After that, a blood shadow couldn't help but rush out of the water and rush towards the shadowy corner. This blood shadow was shone upon by the sunlight, and smoke rose from its body as well. However, it was different from the human-shaped blood mist. Its body didn't dissipate all of a sudden. Instead, it slowly melted like a snowman under the scorching sun. Even a low-rank blood demon has formed. Some of the astral-reaching realm warriors were a bit surprised. Look, there is even a mid-rank blood demon. One of them reached out his hand and pointed at the dark corner of the corpse mountain. There was also a blood shadow there. It looked like a human, but the facial features were a bit blurry. Shoo! A rank 5 beast was passing by, but it did not have the time to escape before it was jumped on by the blood shadow. Something shocking happened. This blood shadow somehow managed to drill into the beast's body without any hindrance. After a while, it rushed out. The blood light on its body was even brighter, and its facial features seemed to be a bit clearer. Meanwhile, the rank 5 beast behind it had turned into a dried-up corpse. Such an evil existence. No wonder I saw a lot of human dried-up corpses at night. I thought they were killed by the beasts that specialized in sucking human blood. Yi Chen frowned. As the dark clouds of beast chi dissipated, more blood shadows appeared, attacking towards the beasts. As for the human warriors, they were too far away from there. Plus, they were under the sunlight, so none of the blood shadows attacked. If I am not mistaken, these blood demons have been formed since yesterday. They increase their cultivation by swallowing the blood of beasts and humans. Luckily, there are no high-rank blood demons. Otherwise, even with all of our power, we might not be able to stop them. Let's kill them now, just in case it causes more trouble. The fire spirit flashed his body and arrived in the middle of the battlefield within a couple of breaths. He threw out a casual attack. That flame-like blade chi seemed to be the nemesis of the blood demons. Once it touched them, they would be burned into nothingness. Too careless. The Black Crow Man shook his head and flew into the battlefield as well. The other astral-reaching realm warriors started to attack as well. They all looked very serious, worried about the appearance of a high-rank blood demon. Although it was not that easy to form a high-rank blood demon, there were too many top-rank beasts and warriors on the battlefield. As long as they swallowed enough blood of the same rank, they might be able to create a high-rank blood demon. As the astral-reaching realm warriors attacked, they also took care of the beasts. They did not want to leave any blood for the blood demons to grow stronger. Yi Chen and the rest of the warriors went back to the wall of the gold tripod city and watched the scene down below. Boom! The fire spirit had the most destructive power for the blood demons. With one attack, none of the blood demons could escape. Even after all the blood demons had been killed, the astral-reaching realm warriors still did not let their guard down. They started to use their Zhen Yuan to evaporate the blood. As for the smaller ones, they did not care about it, since the formation of the blood demons would require a huge amount of blood and hatred. Under the sunlight, the smaller ones would dry up very quickly. What everyone did not know was that there was also a huge amount of blood water in the deep underground. It was the blood that had seeped down from above, forming an underground blood river. Inside the blood river, a blood shadow appeared slowly. The face was very clear, just like a real person. He had a nasty smile on his face, and the expression in his eyes was as evil as one could imagine. It was like a combination of evil,